Ma'am Neri, can we acknowledge our process observer po?
Thank you, Ma'am Mitch. Okay, so before we begin with the sharing of best practices per learning area on distance learning instruction and assessment by department, help me in welcoming the PSDS from Binangonan, our process observer, Sir Nicanor Macarulay. Good morning po, sir.
Good morning po sa ating lahat, sa ating pong Tagumpay National High School DepEd Family sa pamumuno po ni Ma'am Susan. It is a great opportunity to be with you and as your process observer. So, ganun lang po tayo. Sabi nga po natin ay sa lahat ng mga gawain ay nagiging matagumpay ito kung ang collaboration at ang teamwork ay nakikita sa bawat isa. Kaya nga po ang ating SDO Rizal sa pangunguna ng ating Ma'am Che ay patuloy ang kanyang mga inobasyon na ginagawa sa atin para mapabuti ang kalidad ng edukasyon sa Division of Rizal. At kitang-kita po natin yan sa kabila ng ating pandemic situation ay ramdam na ramdam natin po yung mapusong, mapagkawanggawa at mapagkalingang paglilingkod ng ating superintendent. Kaya ramdam na ramdam po natin sa grassroots ang epekto ng pagmamahal ng ating superintendent. So hindi tayo na-stress. Like na like lang itong ating mga trabaho bagamat kabi-kabila yung ating mga concerns, yung ating mga reports, yung pong ating mga activities, nagsasalimbayan, pero nakangiti pa rin tayo at nandoon yung pagmamahal at commitment sa ating ginagawa. So tulad po ng nabanggit ko sa grupo ng school head sa Team C, sa pangunguna po ng ating 4 na PSDSS, Sir Fred, Ma'am Essie, Ma'am C, Ma'am Yoni, ay hindi po natin gagawing stressful itong ating gawain na ito. Ano po? Napakaganda po ng ang INSET na ito dahil ito po ay pagkakataon, oportunidad para malaman natin, masukat natin saan na po tayo nakarating dito sa ating implementation ng ating first quarter for school year 2020-2021. Nasaan na po tayo dun sa ating basic education na learning continuity plan ng eskwelahan gamit yung ating LDM at yung ating mga sabihin natin na kailangan na mga pulisiya na sa pagpapatupad po nito ay naisasagawa po natin na maayos. At sa huli, ang makikinabang siyempre ang ating mga guro at ang ating mga mag-aaral. So, ganun lang po tayo. Hindi po tayo magpapakahaba kasi mag-observe lamang po ako. Ayon po doon sa kasundan ng mga eskwelahan natin ay sa huli na po ako magbibigay ng ating TA para po sa pangkalahatan po. Ano po? So enjoy po the day at mabuhay po kayo. God bless us all. Thank you po Ma'am Susan. Thank you Ma'am Rachel.
Thank you so much po, Sir Nicanor Macarulay, the PSDS po of Binangonan, for that genuine message. And of course, welcome po sa TNHS. Okay, so now to present the best practices per learning area on distance learning instruction and assessment delivery in Filipino department. Ladies and gentlemen, please
Hello, ma'am.
okay, wait for a
Hello,
while.
Ma'am Neri.
There's
may
hello
slides
po,
pa muna
ma'am. Okay,
ako.
so before we proceed po again to the presentation per department, may I call in again our yes po, hardworking principal, Ma'am Susana J. Sacatrapos, for her principal's hour. Take it away, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Neri. Thank you, Ma'am Sir Nicanor Macarulay. This is an opportunity. It's also a privilege that you are with us in our INSET. Your good words have made us so inspired and will make us be influenced by all the good things that you have mentioned earlier. So maraming salamat po, Sir Makarulay. Alam ko po, napaka-hectic ng schedule niyo ngayong maghapon hanggang sa mga susunod na araw, but you accepted our invitation that you would be with us. So I am done with my principal's hour earlier, giving them the feedback, giving them the status of our school in as far as learning of our students is concerned. Now this time, I will start with session number 1, which I opted to handle so that this process observation will be made possible by our PSDS of Binangonan, Sir Nicanor Macarulay. Now, session 1 is sharing of best practices on teaching and learning instruction. I know that our department chairs have so much to say, but let me give you some inputs first so that we can have a foundation of how and what and why you are going to present best practices. Okay, so the objectives of the session first is to gain inputs on matters pertaining to improvement of the delivery of quality education under the new normal. Number 2, share best practices of the department. And number 3 is to express oneself on how he or she can be of help to others. If you will notice, I'll be following the idea phases, for which we have the introduction, we have development, we have the engagement phase, and of course, the assimilation phase. So every learner matters. How is this? How does this appeal to you? As an effective teacher who delivers quality basic education instruction, you need to complete the following and expound this sentence. You can access our chat box so that we can hear from you how you can expound this sentence. Every student is or deserves blank. So we're giving you mga 1 minute. Okay, so it says there from Ma'am Gemma. Ano yung kay Ma'am Gemma? Ma'am Gemma says that every student deserves equal treatment and every student deserves quality education. And then according to Sir Boricano, every student deserves, asa na wala na yan? Deserves what? Deserves special attention and accommodation to their queries. And also from Ma'am Giselle, every student deserves understanding of their circumstances and condition. Some more? Okay, so from Sir Gerald Kingan, every student deserves respect. Correct. Deserves respect and equal opportunity as well. Ayan, binanggit na ni Ma'am Army Santos, equal opportunity. And then from Ma'am Maricar, she says that every student deserves to learn, feel that they are appreciated, trusted, respected, and loved. So truly, that our learners are our clientele, that they deserve the kind of treatment that they deserve. Sabi naman ni Ma'am Emeline, every student deserves love and consideration from Sir Sting. Every student deserves love. Yan. And then from Ma'am Barachina, every student deserves understanding, empathy, and care. And then from Sir Alfred, every student deserves, every student deserves great leaders or great teachers. From Sir Constantino, every student deserve love and quality education. From Ma'am Gianan, every student deserves a lifelong learning and peaceful environment. Yan. So ang gaganda ng inyong from Sir Julius, ano po ito? Independent. IND po, ano po ba yan? Okay, so with that, we are so aware the kind of service, the kind of benefits that students deserve from us. So it's good to know that we are aware of that. As professional teacher, I told you earlier, we need to know the needs, the different needs of our students because they are diverse. They really need love, care, and respect. Thank you, fellow teachers. Okay, so let me share with you our academic plan for August 2020 to January 4, 2021. Now, for you to know, this is crafted based on the action plans that you submitted. And I have been reviewing your action plans, department action plans weeks ago. And I even asked Sir Lian to give me a copy so that I'll be able to confirm the different activities that you conduct in your department so that we will be able to monitor and evaluate at the end. That's very, very important. It's very crucial that we, at the end of a quarter, at the end of the month, we are able to evaluate after monitoring your action plans. Now, this action plan has something to do with the learning of our students, which is our primary goal to deliver quality education. And this was also designed or crafted based on the template that was given us last ADM LAC session. So we have here the inputs, the objectives, the activities, expected results, date of implementation, time frame, budgetary requirement, and then persons involved. So just look into this template so that you will be able to know that everything that you accomplish and that you need to do, you need to accomplish are put into this and they are considered in our academic plan. So in the under learning management, our objectives, number one, we have to establish the mechanism of organizing learners and managing learner. Implement curriculum contextualization in crafting the SLE. And then the activities are provided, which we have been doing. We have this walkthrough of modules. You even submitted the report of your findings when we had the walkthrough of the modules that we received from our region. And then we prepare weekly home learning plan, activity sheets, and enrichment and scaffolded learning activities in the first quarter. And now we're working on the second quarter. This is the reason why we have our INSET in preparation for quarter two. As what I told you, we're going to repeat the flaws that we had last quarter. Let us make it better this time for quarter two. So expected outputs, results, we have here comprehensive and complete learning package for effective flow of distance learning modality, report on safety and disinfection of LRs, final sectioning of ODL, we already have this one, learning hubs by grade level. So you come to realize that all these expected outputs have been on hand. Nasa mga kamay na po natin ito, tapos na po ito. Kasi ito po ay nagsimula yung ating plano for academic ng August until, maglalast ito until January 4. So we will be crafting another academic plan starting quarter 2 onwards to quarter 3 in preparation for quarter 3. So we'll just look into some issues that would arise in quarter 2 so that we'll make it better and we'll improve it towards quarter 3. Yan. And then the persons involved are the following. Alam naman ninyo na marami tayong mga teachers na kailangan dito at sabi ko nga, pakialaman natin ito sapagkat tayo ay pare-parehong kasama dito. Okay? So, moving forward, so sa learning performance monitoring naman, our objective, establish the mechanism of organizing learners and managing learners. So, ano ang ating mga activity dyan. So we identify learner performance and progress monitoring reports through the template that is designed for us to use to monitor progress of our students through checking their formative assessments, through observations of their behavior, through feedback from parents, from learners, and then our output, of course, the weekly staff meeting to address issues and concerns, because I told you we have to promote open communication so that all issues and concerns will be addressed at once. Hindi natin patutulugin ang issue na wala tayong ginagawang solusyon. We work hand in hand, we are promoting collaboration and teamwork, and so it would be easy to say that everything becomes possible for as long as everyone is concerned. Okay, so 75% of the learning activities in the module were answered and submitted to teachers. By now, we could say that 75% of the learning activities have been submitted, and we have extended submission of their outputs because we say that there is flexibility in learning, and so until January 4, we will be accepting their outputs. And then, content and performance summative assessments, we had this. Meron na tayo nito dahil nagkaroon na tayo ng mga summative assessments. If you can still remember, last week of November until December 12. Yan. And then consolidated individual learning monitoring plan. Yan. So we have well-organized records of students being monitored by the department chairs. So mga department chairs, fellow teachers, paki-check sa inyong mga department chairs, yung mga records ng mga bata so that they can also advise you and can help you for technical assistance. You can also approach me, and the regular meeting with parents via online or offline, because based on feedback from teachers, you have been conducting regular meetings with parents. It's something good. It's a good point for our fellow teachers, that we have to exert effort so that we can constantly monitor the progress of our students through communication with parents. And then we also have research findings, no? So another is to solicit feedback from students, reports of teachers and parents, take actions on urgent concerns and issues. So we have been doing this since October 5. Na lahat ng feedback ay ginagather natin yan at naipon na natin, kaya tayo nagkaroon ng ganitong INSET na well-screened and well-selected ang ating mga topics, because this is what you need. Ang foundation ng ating INSET ay ang findings na naibigay ng ating IT head, IT team leader, at lahat ng mga topics na kailangan ay ibibigay natin sa inyo asynchronously. And then, we also have learning resource management. So how we manage our learning resources. So our objective is to improve availability of LR to reach 100% in all learning areas and grades across the quarters. Let's see if we are achieving this objective. So our activity, of course, is set up inventory system of LRs. So this concerns our GLCs, our property custodian, and then reproduction of additional LRs, reproduction of LRs for the next quarter, because we are anticipating that there are students who will be requesting a replacement of modules if natural calamity happens. And this is true enough because last time, 2 weeks ago, there were students who requested for replacement of their modules. They have been so worried that they would not be having their outputs anymore. And so we told them that they don't have to be worried because we are going to replace their damaged SLMs. Now, what they are going to do is just to wait for the copy, and they have already received copies. That is witnessed by our GLCs because they were the ones who requested, and of course our ODL and MDL coordinators, Ma'am Gianan and Ma'am Wen, who have been constantly following it up with me. And then, okay, so reproduction of LRs for the next quarter. As of now, we have been receiving SLMs already from our division office. So we will see if those SLMs are sufficient enough for the number of students that we have. In case kulang or insufficient, kaya natin mag-reproduce niyan. Okay. Okay, so develop system of distribution. Nakalagay po sa ating SLCP yan. Meron tayong protocol sa pag-distribute, pag-retrieve ng ating mga LRs, ng mga learning materials na kinukuha natin sa mga bata that includes in disinfection, well-keeping of our SLMs for next year's utilization. So well-supervised distribution and retrieval of LRs through partnership. We have a report on that and more. So 100% of students received their LRs. So we have this feedback mechanism for distribution and retrieval. That's why we have this acknowledgement receipt. And we also have to ask parents about what they can say on the modules. If there are suggestions or comments, we are willing to accept them, and then we'll put them into our list for actions to be taken. Okay, for continuing professional development for teachers and other school personnel. So enhance PPST-based competencies of teachers based on customers' feedback on managing learning delivery modality. And then our activity is to develop a school-based interventions, and of course, conduct this online in-service training for teachers. So it's now happening. Okay. So we have this ICLEA. Ano ba tong ICLEA na ito? Anybody who would like to give us what ICLEA stands for? Quiz muna tayo. Which among the ideal learning phases does a student learn to appreciate? What are contained in the SLCP? Why do we need to craft and institutionalize on SLCP? What are the issues and concerns that we need to address that are considered in the SLCP or School Learning Continuity Plan? So you can access the chat box if you want to answer any of these questions. Or let's go with number 1. What does ICLEA stand for? Everybody should know this. Okay, so from Ma'am Michelle Medina, ICLEA stands for, okay, take note of this, I for intent. What is our intention? What is our purpose? And then the content. the content of what we're going to teach. So we have this mastery as teachers, and then the competencies that are developed by students, and then learning experiences because we ought to engage them in different situations. And then, of course, the assessment. As what I told you, this is the most crucial factor aspect of the learning of the students. For us to know whether they have learned or they have gained something, you have to think of an effective assessment. So ECLEA stands for intent, content, or competencies, and then learning experiences, and then assessment. Si Ma'am Shirley, sabi niya, they deserve to be heard. Kanina pa yan. All right. So how about which among the idea learning phases? The idea I mentioned earlier, idea is introduction, development, engagement, and assessment. Learning phases, does a student learn to appreciate his or own resource and cultural diversity? Anyone can answer. Unmute your microphone. Sana doon sa inyong WHLP ay mai-present nyo rin yung lesson in idea phases. Sa development,
Hello, ma'am.
yes, of course.
Ayun po. Doon po, sagutin ko lang po ma'am yung tanong po ninyo tungkol sa
Yes,
kung
sir.
saan ba
Pagaduhan,
tayo
right?
sa kung yung naipapakita yung own resources tsaka yung cultural diversity. Ma'am, pwede po sa dalawa, pwede po sa ano natin sa content, doon natin pwede ipakita na mayroong diversity yung ating mga students sa pagbibigay natin ng halimbawa po sa online. Hindi po ako online pero i-share ko lang po. Halimbawa po sa online, yung pagbibigay po ng mga examples kasi ng mga lesson ay pwede nating dalhin doon yung cultural diversity lalo sa atin sa Tagumpay na mayroong iba't ibang na may iba't ibang kultura,
Yes, correct.
Religion, tapos yung natin yung topography, dahil iba't ibang lugar tayo. Isa pa po doon po sa assessment, napakahalaga po na ma-identify natin yung kanilang resources, pati yung kanilang kultura sa pagbibigay natin ng iba't ibang klaseng assessment doon sa bawat lesson po natin. Yun po, ma'am. Thank you po.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Which among the idea parts or phases? Doon kayo papasok sa introduction, sa development of the lesson, sa engagement, or sa assessment? I mean, assimilation. Assimilation part. Saan doon, sir?
Ma'am, actually, any part po ng idea, introduction, development, hanggang po dun sa assessment, ay pwede nating magamit yung iba't ibang resources ng mga bata. Mas mainam nga po yun eh. Tsaka po napakahalaga po talaga na ma-identify yung kanilang cultural diversity para po mas mapadali yung kanilang pagsagot.
Okay, sige. Correct ka din dyan, sir. Pero much more on the engagement and the assimilation. Sa assimilation kasi self na nila yun eh. Nagsishare na sila ng self. Doon sa engagement, what they have in the community. So ito ay ating ibinibigay sa mga bata so that they can express themselves. No? Ano ba ako sa aking lipunan? Sa engagement yan. Ano ba ako? Ano ba ang meron ako dito sa aking lipunan? Sa aking komunidad? Sa assimilation? Ano ba ang maitutulong ko? Ano ba ang kakayanan ko? Ano ba ang klaseng pamilya meron ako para ako'y makatulong sa iba? Somewhat like that. So, engagement and assimilation. But it can also be true for introduction and development, but much more on the engagement and assimilation. So, I hope in the preparation of the WHLP, ay masunod ninyo yung idea part na ito. Alam nyo na ito. Kasi before you crafted your WHLP and distributed them to the parents, ay nagkaroon na tayo ng discussion tungkol doon. Di ba mga sirs and ma'ams? Ngayon, medyo ipapolish na lang natin. That if there are some suggestions and comments based on the critic and edited sample of WHLP, na-send ko yun kay Ma'am Jenilyn ba? Ay tingnan natin, mag-review tayo. kung yung ating bang ginagawang WHLP ay kulang ba? Meron pa ba tayong dapat na idagdag, i-revise pa, or what? Okay, so thank you, Sir Pagaduan. And then what are contained in the SLCP? Ano ang nandoon sa SLCP? Can I ask Ma'am Mitch or anyone? Sa yung ating IT team, IT group. Of course, in the SLCP, we have there what? The rationale, the history of the school, yung ating distribution and retrieval strategies, yung ating mga projects and programs na itatawid natin under new normal. Kaya nga meron tayong SLCP kasi bago ang ating panahon ngayon, di ba? And of course, actions to be taken so that all issues and concerns will be addressed. So all these SLCP activities will be reviewed and monitored and of course evaluated. And there will be a discussion on SLCP later on by, I don't know if it's Ma'am Mitch or both of them, Ma'am Mitch and Sir Lian.
Ma'am, in
And then why do we
addition,
need to craft? Ah, yes. Oh, yes,
in
ma'am.
addition to SLCP, it is also where we invoke or we strengthen the 4 subsystems of distance education, wherein policies are put in place, where we give our students the support needed, and then as well as the teacher for the teaching and learning process, as well as for the course delivery subsystem.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Mitch. That makes it very clear. Those are additional. Those are specifics of the SLCP. Okay, so i-discuss din naman yan as we go on with our 5-day training. And then why do we need to craft and institutionalize an SLCP? So what I said earlier is because we are on emerging situations that we need to uh, divert some of our activities that should be aligned to the kind of situation that we have now. And so whatever is in the SLCP should be put into consideration, and whatever it is in there should be evaluated and should also be monitored. And we are well guided because of this, because of our SLCP, which we crafted and institutionalized in our own midst. And of course, next question, we have what are the issues and concerns that we need to address that are considered in the SLCP. Of course, we need to address the modalities, no, the learning modalities which students are capable of. Like yung tayo nagkaroon ng 3 ng pag-aaral na ito yung mga resources ng mga bata, ito yung kaya nilang magawa, ito yung kayang i-offer ng school. Wala silang ganito, okay, sige, ito ang ating i-offer. So that learning becomes possible. And there is continuity of learning. And ito yung ODL natin, no? So ano yung mga kayang resources ng bata, kayang i-afford ng parents. We also sought feedback from them, from parents, para lahat ay ma-direct natin base doon sa resources na kaya ng parents at kayang maibigay ng mga bata para matulungan natin sila doon sa kanilang learning while it's still pandemic. So we cannot afford to lose our customers. We need to help them so that basic education will continue. All right. So we have some more. Yan, ipakita ko lang sa inyo yung cover ng ating school learning continuity plan. So this was adjusted due to some recent guidelines that we received from the Department of Education, from our division office, and we are very glad that we're also well guided by our SDS. Marami siyang inputs na ibinibigay sa atin para patuloy nating ma-improve yung ating SLCP, and we take them into consideration as I told you earlier. So pag nakikita ko itong cover ng ating SLCP, I feel so inspired. The more that I tell myself, gusto ko magtrabaho kasi ito yung aking tatrabahuin. So the same thing that I expect from teachers, na kapag nakita ang SLCP, Nandun ka agad sa ating isip yung ating goal, yung ating responsibilities, yung ating number one na concern na pag-aaral ng ating mag-aaral na dapat nating itawid, no? So, ito ang cover ng ating SLCP. So, sana ganun yung ating ano dyan, ano. And then, I am also glad to say, very proud to say, na ang ating SLCP ay crafted based on ICLEA. Kaya nga kanina sabi ko, ano ba ang ICLEA? Yan. So, sinabi na kanina that we consider all those things. So, we assess the needs of the teachers. Kaya meron tayong INSET, kasi nagkaroon tayo ng needs assessment, nakuha natin doon sa inyong mga PPST development plan. And then, nagkaroon tayo ng survey from learners na ito pala ang kulang natin gagawin. So, tuturuan ang teachers na gumawa ng ganito. Kasi kung ano ang klase ng teachers na meron siya, yun din ang magiging klase ng bata na meron siya. So, lilangin natin, i-capacitate natin ang ating mga teachers through this INSET para makagawa tayo ng magandang WHLP at matugunan kung ano yung difficulties ng ating mga bata sa ngayon sa kanilang pag-aaral. Kasi sabi ko nga, ang mga parents, hirap na hirap din magturo. Yung iba dyan, hindi naman nakatapos nga ng elementary, and then here they are teaching their children. So what more can a child feels that he is being taught by a parent who's not gone through a higher education. So it's different when there is a face-to-face, but we're making all the things possible so that we can guide our parents and then maturuan ng tama yung kanilang mga anak. Okay, so ano ang needs ng mga teachers? So tutugunan natin dito sa ating INSET para kayo ay magkaroon ng magandang WHLP. And then yung ating mga stakeholders, so we will seek help from them so that we can quality assured na yung ating mga gagawin ay effective. Kasi dito meron tayong feedback, meron tayong ginagamit na mga monitoring tools, etc. And we will also be of help to our learners and parents so that the ICLEA framework would be attained. So meron tayong impact ng assessment, meron tayong research na gagawin for continuous improvement. So diyan po nakaangkla yung ating SLCP. Hindi po tayo mawawala kasi guided tayo nitong framework na ito. Ito lamang ang ating tingnan at lahat ay kaya natin yan. Standard po ang ICLEA. Okay, so ano po ang ating enrollment? Sa kanina, na i-report na ng ating enrollment ay nasa 399. Ito kasi ay August pa yatang report. But so far, this morning, it was reported that we have 2,399 enrollees. So we have two learning modalities, MDL and ODL, based on our survey that we conducted for the preparation of our SLCP. Okay, so yan yung ating naging data para magkaroon tayo ng sections para sa MDL. Ilang sections sa MDL at ilang sections sa ODL. So ilang teachers ang magtuturo ng ODL at ilang teachers ang magtuturo ng MDL. But how I wish that ODL teachers will also be able to handle MDL so that they can feel the difference. At makagawa tayo ng paraan. Baka may mga best practice kayo as a teacher of MDL na pwede ninyong i-share sa iba na nag-MDL, or meron kayong best practice para sa ODL na pwede naman ninyong i-share sa mga ODL teachers and MDL teachers. So tulungan po tayo. Okay, so the assessment procedure was also highlighted in our SLCP. So the assessment, as I told you, would require efforts, would require our purpose. Bakit nagbibigay ng assessment? Ano ang dahilan? Ano ang gusto mong sukatin sa mga bata? MELCs, alin sa mga MELCs ang susukatin mo, at alin doon sa mga competencies na iyon ang mahina ang bata, at doon tayo ngayon magkaroon ng intervention through online or offline. And we'll make it also possible na sukatin natin yung mga bata kung talaga bang sila ang nagsasagot kasi sa MDL, yun nga po ang ating feedback, di ba? Na mahirap talagang mag-monitor kasi karamihan na mga outputs daw ng mga bata, ang nagsasagot ay yung kanilang mga elders, yung kanilang parents, yung kapatid, etc. But there is one strategy I told you that you can give an assessment that is not included in the module or not even in the learning materials that you give them prior to the module or prior to your engagement with learners. So, pwede ura-urada magbigay ng assessment kasi gusto mong sukatin ito. Kaya lang doon sa MDL, kung meron kayong best practice ng pagbibigay ng authentic na assessment sa MDL, please share it with us later on. Okay? So, we'll hear it from you later on. At para yung iba naman ay makapag-benefit. Alright. So, ay, nawala. For a while. Okay. So, DepEd Order 031, 0/2020, yung pagbibigay ng ng assessment and grading in light of the WHLP. We posted it in our GC na sana po ay nabasa ninyo. 265 pages ata yon na nai-post natin. At any rate, ang pinaka-importante, alam natin kung paano tayo magbibigay ng assessment so that our effort of grading our learners will be effective at hindi tayo nag-hocus-pocus ng ating mga ibinibigay na grades. Lalo ngayon kasi ang bata ay wala naman sa school. However, ang ating panuntunan, since we are instructed not to come up with computation of grades as early as now, bigyan natin ng panahon ang mga bata na sila ay makapag-submit sa January ng kanilang mga natitirang outputs for quarter 1. So sa classroom assessment, it's an ongoing process of identifying, gathering, organizing, and interpreting qualitative and quantitative information. So kahit naman ang bata wala sa classroom, kahit ang bata ay naka-ODL or naka-MDL, nagbibigay kayo ng mga classroom assessment that we pretend that students are in the classroom. However, ang mga assessment, nagmo-modify naman tayo na parang akma doon sa setting na meron tayo for the learning of our students. Ang formative assessment, marami tayo niyan. Yun yung nakalagay sa mga modules, di ba? Ang sabi nga natin, medyo bawasan. So if there are 5 tasks which we feel that it would be difficult for students, we can lessen. And that 5 tasks will be made into 4 or 3, it depends. Kayo naman ang nakakaalam ng kakayanan ng mga bata. And then the summative test, which will assess the content and performance standards. Meron tayo pag tututuro, di ba? Meron tayong content and performance standards. And according to the DepEd order, magbibigay tayo ng 4 na summative test for content and 4 na summative test for performance standards within a quarter. So wala tayong quarterly assessment. We repeat, we don't have quarterly assessment. O yung natawag natin sa common language na periodical test. Wala po tayo niyan. So grading is a way of reporting assessment data by assigning a value in the results as a record of students' ability, achievement, or progress. So meron tayong records, nag-check tayo ng mga sinasubmit, ng mga outputs ng mga bata, at meron din kayong strategy kung paano nyo ginagawa yan. That is your best practice. Okay. So, ilan na yan? Okay. So, we have here the presentation of best practices by subject area. So, nagkaroon na tayo ng pre-agreement how you will be able to present your best practices, but come to note that these best practices are presented so that we can be of help to others, because best practices are effective practices which others can also imitate or can also implement in their own way of learning or teaching instruction. Okay, so let us start now. Ma'am Mitch or Ma'am Neri,
Yes, ma'am.
pwede na sila?
Okay po.
Oo, siguro ito 10 minutes, let's not make it very long. Ano? Pag nasabi na siguro, pahapyaw na lang and ano na. Okay?
Okay po, ma'am.
Sige, ma'am.
Shall we?
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Susan, for that was well detailed and interactive discussion for best practices on teaching, learning, instruction, SLCP, ECLEA framework, and lesson exemplar. I guess we can now start the presentations again. Per department po ito, we are going to start, it will be card based, and 10 minutes will be given to each and every department to present their best practices. Okay, let's start with the Filipino department. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess Ma'am Rachel, si Pagaduan is already ready. Ma'am Rachel?
Yes, Ma'am Mary, hintayin ko lang po matanggal po yung unang presentation, then ipapasok ko po yung aking slides po.
Okay po. For the timer po, ako po yung magta-timer. Pag na-i-flash na po ang screen, the time will start. And later po, after 10 minutes, magbabat-in po ako if time is up already. Okay po?
Yes, Ma'am Mary, ready na po. So magandang umaga po sa lahat ulit. I'm Mrs. Rachel Sipagaduan po, ang kasalukuyang Department Chairman ng Filipino Department. So nandito po ako para ibahagi ang best practices po ng Filipino Department about distance learning, instruction, and assessment. So first po ay ang aming rationale. COVID-19 has been considered as the most destructive pandemic in the world. From the time when started, that it destroys many aspects of human lives, the world's economy, transportation, health, and even education. The Department of Education knows from the very start that the education would be one of the affected agencies because of this pandemic. The palace and the leaders of DepEd make ways to continue education despite of the pandemic that has been affecting the world. There are many learning modalities that has been introduced to the country. These modalities have been used by the teachers. It is observed that programs have been encouraging by many, and the Filipino is a critically important subject in building human Filipino learners, human consciousness with as much critical thinking and social commitment to their nation and its sovereign development, as well as to the entire world and its brighter future. This presentation will show the things being done by the Filipino department teacher in order to handle the situation. So second, teaching and learning modalities. As you can see po sa inyong mga screen, ang mga Filipino department teachers po ay gumagamit po ng ODL, which is Online Distance Learning, and MDL, Modular Distance Learning. Yan po. Sa online teachers, we have 4 teachers. Modular teachers, we have 4 din po. And yung gumagamit po ng 2 preps ay ang 4 din po na teachers. Yan po, nakikita niyo po sa inyong mga screen. And next, our teaching and learning instruction strategies. So, as teacher po, sa ngayong new normal setting po ng education, so dahil may mga online classes and modular, ay gumagamit po kami sa online class ng synchronous instruction, wherein pasok na pasok po doon. As language teachers, we use live discussion. It is interactive and encourages participatory learning, encourages learning to analyze alternative ways of thinking and explore their own experiences to become better critical thinkers. So yan po ang aming model, Ma'am Lauren. And then yung slide po from Ma'am Elieska. Sabi nga raw, discussion is often the heart of online class. And then, syempre po sa modular ay gumagamit din po kami ng lecture wherein kahit po sabihin natin modular ay best practices po ng mga Filipino teachers na mag-input at mag-share po sa kanilang mga students ng mga lecture notes or mga websites or mga links related po doon sa kanilang topic or lesson. They also present lectures via audio or video over the internet. As you can see po sa inyong mga screen, sample po ni Ma'am Ernie Lu Amador, yan po ang ginagawa ng kanyang mga estudyante under modular po. So meron pa rin pong mga website or mga PowerPoint presentations na pinoprovide ang Filipino teachers in terms of teaching, learning, instruction strategies. And next, teaching and learning assessment strategies. We, as language teachers, we use formative assessment and summative assessment. Mapa-online man po o mapa-modular. We use online quiz, open-ended or essay questions, online polls, and summative tests. Kapag hindi po kaya ng bata sa under modular po ang paggamit po ng ICT through GC or FB group po, ay gumagawa po ng paraan ng mga modular teachers po to reach their students. Katulad po ng pagpa-follow up sa kanila, pagpapasa po through messenger ng kanilang mga activities or ng kanilang mga gawain po through messenger. Pag hindi po nagawa, ang gagawin po ng teachers o Filipino teachers po, gagawa po ng alternative ways po para po makapagpasa ang mga bata. Pwede pong pipicturan or pwede naman pong dadalhin po sa school. So yun po ang ginagawa namin in terms of assessment strategies. And next, we also have issues and challenges encountered. Hindi po mawawala ito. Part po yan ng learnings at improvement ng mga teachers, even the students. So we have issues and challenges under ODL, limited slow internet connection. As of now po, nararamdaman ko, naging unstable po ang aking internet. So we also have our solution po. So we provide recorded video or discussion or instructional videos of the lesson. Next po, short span of time to accomplish assigned tasks of learners during synchronous learning. So iyan po yung mga common problem na nararanasan po ng mga teachers. So as a solution po, give learners enough time to finish their activities or extend deadline of submission. And the third one, unable to submit activities on time. So isa po yan sa talagang medyo burden po sa aming mga teacher. But as a teacher, we are also a resolver. So ang solution po namin ay to extend the deadline of submission para po makapag-comply ang aming mga students at hindi po sila mahuli or mapag-iwanan. Also, we have sa MDL, mayroon pa rin pong issues and challenges. We have some students who are not able to comply to the requirements on time, same din po sa ODL. Meron po kaming solution dyan. Follow up and communicate the students and the parents through messenger or pag wala pong FB or Facebook, mobile number po o kinokontak po namin yung kanilang mobile number pag wala pa rin po, home visitation na po. And then we also extend the date of submission. Next one po, damaged modules answer sheets due to typhoon. Recently lang po ito. So as a teachers po, from our principal po, sinabi niya po, we need to produce new copy of modules. So yan po ang ginawa ng mga teachers. And then, we have low mastery of the lesson. So alam natin na medyo malaking pong adjustment ito sa pagtuturo sa Philippine curriculum natin ngayon, sa education. Pero as a teacher, so binibigay po pa rin natin ng pagkakaroon po ng quality education po para sa ating mga estudyante. So we provide alternative instructional materials such as videos or PowerPoint presentation para po hindi lang sila nakafocus sa module. Meron pa rin po silang alternative ways para po matuto. So ayan po yung mga issues and challenges ng aming department sa Filipino. And then, we have also here the impact of training provided by the school to the teachers. Siyempre, ito po yung naging resulta sa amin as a teachers po, as a language teachers. It updates teachers' skills and knowledge for improving teaching and learning, which lead to better teaching performance, help to face new challenges and changes in the education world. So, isa tong challenge na to, kaya kailangan naming mag-adjust at kailangan pa rin naming mag-aral. Motivate to improve teaching pedagogy and create new teaching strategies and teaching materials and new platforms with this new normal situation. So, magamit kami ng iba't ibang mga online application, even sa modular, para po ma-reach namin ang aming mga estudyante. Helps to improve teacher professionalism. Yes, definitely po. It helps to improve lesson planning, teaching methods, teaching tools, classroom management, cooperation, teaching pedagogy, adapt new normal, teaching and learning process, of course po. And also, it helps to become more techy. Katulad po ng aming Ma'am Togada, isa po sa mga pioneer po ng tagumpay sa Filipino Department, ang aming nanay, ay talagang sinisikap niya pong maging techy para po ma-reach out niya po ang kanyang mga estudyante through Facebook at Messenger. Kapag hindi niya po kaya, doon po siya maghahanap ng tulong po sa kapwa niya po teacher sa Filipino Department, even po sa kanyang mga friendship po na teacher. So talaga very challenging po ito. Dynamic and updated, it enhances and acquire new skills, knowledge, and competency. Siguro pagbalik sa my face-to-face, magagamit pa rin po namin ito. And it allows to strengthen skills that needs to improve. So we are very thankful po na nagpo-provide po ang school, ang ICT team headed by Ma'am Mitch Medina po, ng mga topics po during our INSET, during our LAC session, nang may kinalaman po sa ICT na hindi lang po magagamit ng mga online class teachers, maging din po sa under modular. So we are very thankful po for that kasi talagang napakalaking, masabi po nating blessing o napakalaking tulong po nito para sa amin, lalo na po ako. And then kapag naka-undergo na po ng ganitong trainings, ay ang mga teacher po ay inaaral din po sa sarili nila, like Ma'am Joanne, nagre-review po yan, circles, even other teachers po under Filipino Department. And then using the mga demo teaching online and modular. So nagkakaroon kami ng mga ideas and knowledge regarding this kind of platform. At yan po ang impact ng aming training sa ating mga estudyante. Mula sa mga natutunan namin from the training from the school, ito po ang kanilang impact sa aming mga learners. Kaya bago po magsimula ang aming pagtuturo ay nagkakaroon po ng dry run. So yan lamang po ang presentation from the Filipino Department. Tulong-tulong po kami nung gumawa po ito. So thank you po sa Filipino Department teachers na nag-share ng kanilang knowledge and mga pictures about po sa presentation na to. And then, bilang huling pagtatapos po, let me share po ang aking favorite verse. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. Kaya po natin itong lahat. Meron pa pong second grading, third grading, fourth grading, at maraming salamat po. Ang inyong lingkod, Mrs. Pagaduan. Thank you po.
Wow, thank you so much, Ma'am Rachel, for a one-of-a-kind presentation. Siguro effective maybe it's effective yung timer. Medyo naririnig natin na medyo struggle is real talaga kasi may timer po. So, meron pa namang natitirang 3 seconds, Ma'am Rachel, sa inyong 10 minutes. Okay, so
po.
any comments or suggestions from our body po, Ma'am Susan, Sir Nicanor, or later na lang po after the presentations? Ma'am Susan?
Sige, ma'am. I-continue muna, ma'am, para tuloy-tuloy tayo muna and then I'll give you the feedback later on. Okay?
Okay po.
Mary,
Okay.
stop share ko na po. Thank you po ulit.
Salamat.
Okay, thank you so much,
Rachel.
Ma'am Rachel.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, Ma'am Rachel. And congratulations po, Ma'am Rachel, and to the rest of the Filipino department. Okay, so next in line, we have the department head of the English department. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Mrs. Maria Jeneline Ngo to present the best practices in the English department. Take it away, Ma'am Jen. And are you ready?
Oh,
I'm
yes,
going to
I'm
start
ready.
the timer.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good
Ma'am,
morning to our.
Ma'am
Hello.
Jen, can you please louder your microphone po? Thank
Oh,
you.
okay. So I'll just hold my
Okay, timer.
microphone.
Okay na po. Timer
Okay.
starts now.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So I'm here to present the best practices of the English department. So let's proceed. So the content of the discussion is as well the discussed by Ma'am Rachel Pagaduan. Then bibilisan ko na lang. Okay. So English was part of because it's already stated by Ma'am Rachel Pagaduan that we have faced the pandemic. Okay, so that's the reason why we were the first one to be launched in our new normal education. So October 5, we have was that we have had our discussion or our lessons. Okay, and then the English department of course is consists of 12 teachers, 3 teachers per grade level. Teachers of English have been given 2 modalities to teach this school year because of the new normal. So we have the online and the modular, or the ODL and the MDL. So English department is tasked to also work on promote the BRB4 project of the Division of Rizal, as well as the department has also inculcated importance of reading, writing, and learning through the different activities organized by the English Club Sentinels and School Paper The Victor for the students using the available online platforms. So here are the MOVs, okay, for our for our English Club Sentinels online activities, and we also have the Victor journalism training that we had last May, okay, this year, and then we have the BRB4. It's also okay spearheaded by the English department and also the Filipino department. Okay, now teaching and learning modalities. So we have 2 modalities this school year. We have the ODL and the MDL. Right. In grade 7 to 10, teachers are assigned for the ODL and one is assigned to teach MDL. But of course, some teachers are assigned to teach 2 modalities because of unparalleled number of section of ODL and MDL. Okay, so the next one is teaching and learning instructional strategies. So we have online distance learning. So teachers of English have used Google Classroom, Google Meet, Zoom, Facebook group, and Messenger. I think all of us, not just the English department, okay, have already used these apps, okay, given to us. Okay, then modular distance learning. So teachers of English have used the Facebook group, the SLM, of course, the messenger, and the text call messaging. So here is an example, okay, of the Google Classroom that I have for the Archimedes. So if you notice, okay, I have this different topics, okay, the performance standards, attendance, announcement. So that will be actually I was at something that you can see, okay, in the Google Classroom of all the teachers in English department. Okay, so that will be, we have here Zoom. Okay, Zoom. And then, of course, just like what Rachel Pagaduan has said a while ago, so we also uploaded, was that, videos of our lessons or classes so that those students who have intermittent data or internet, they can actually access it. Okay, so we have it. So here, the MDL. So if you notice, I just borrowed some of the pictures of Mom Jewel in her Facebook group. Okay, here we have the modules. Okay, and of course the discussion that Mom Jewel Bonton has given to her students using the Facebook group. Okay, so it's not just the online teachers who are using the Facebook group, it's also the MDL. Okay, but it's not actually necessary. So it's just that so that we could, Facebook is available to everyone. Okay, and of course we can access it, and also our students. So that's the reason that this is the easiest communication we can have with them. Okay, so then we have the, yeah, this one. Okay, teachers. Okay, we use the G Suites. Okay, Microsoft's app, Facebook group, Messenger, quizzes, and all sorts of online apps for online distance learning that is suited for the lesson for the day of the day. So modular learning. Okay, teachers also use Google Forms, Facebook group, and Messenger in platforms that, okay, that is that of course students prefer. Okay, so we have here, so I have here some activities of my students in G Suites, the Google Slides, and also in Kahoot. Okay, so if you notice, I have here one of the best practices of the English department. So we use the Google Slide to have the collaborative activity of the students. So if you notice, you can see here some of the activities of students, and also we can monitor it because there are names here. Right, it's easily to monitor, just like what Mom Susan has said a while ago. Online, was that online ODL is really easy to monitor. Right. Okay. The next one. Okay. This one is the issues, challenges encountered by our teachers. Okay. So it's not just my thoughts. Okay. It's the thoughts of the department. Okay. Learners could not participate well because of intermittent connection. So what we did is that we recorded the class session, just like what I've shown you a while ago. That we are so that the students who are not able to participate could still watch and review the lesson. So and then the accessibility, cost, efficiency, and how students, parents, and teachers view the ODL. Right. So what we did, okay, the school and also some the teachers did is that we had parents orientation, students orientation. Okay, and then we have the next one is too much exposure to gadgets. So in grades and 8 to 9, 9 to 10, we have 4 hours, right? It can be synchronous or asynchronous. So we have for grade 7 to 8, we have 2 hours. So the solution that we have here is that we involve students to physical activities while demonstrating the needed competency. They are it's not necessary that you have to be in their computer or not. So they can do some activities that is away from the computer, or they can do it, okay, by writing, or by was that by doing activities that of course will target the needed competency. So that will be the teacher's solution for it. Okay, the next one is that, okay, for the MDL, so we have this no physical interaction, of course, right? So what we did is that, of course, the cooperation between the parents. So we have to remind the parents that they have to ask their their children to read, learn, and work together, right? And then don't help in developing oral skills and social interactions. But what we did is that, because just like what Ma'am Pagaduan has said a while ago, we are language subject. So what we did is that students will read aloud to practice oral skills. That's what I was doing in my classes before. That they have to present, okay, through their Google Slides. They are able to explain, okay, to explain what they have come up with their collaborative activities. So distractions at home, time management. So of course they have to follow weekly home learning plan, okay, and it's actually been reiterated over and over again for the parents that they have to follow the WHLP. So physical interaction, it's already stated, they can orient, use FB mobile phone as a common platform in communication. So what's the impact of provided training to the teachers? Okay, because of the different webinars and trainings given to us, we can utilize available learning platforms, both synchronous and asynchronous. If we failed, to watch it, we can watch it in the YouTube. It's already uploaded there in our was that FB page, and also in YouTube channel. So it's very accessible. We should just have to equip ourselves, not just here in synchronous, but also in asynchronous way. Oh, of course, here we have to impact of adapted learning modalities to the learners. So here, okay, in here, in spite of the hindrances and challenges that we face this year. So the students, as well as of course the teachers, are able to adapt to the modalities. So it's very, I'm very happy because they are able, to know what's Google Forms. They are able to participate in Zoom. They are able to have the Zoom breakout rooms as well as the Google breakout rooms. So it's very I'm very happy that they are able to do that. Okay, it's a new experience and it's very good for us. Okay. So the next one is, okay, if you notice in online, okay, in Google Classroom, you can post questions there and they are able to answer. Okay, even though some students are shy like that, in here, even though they're shy, they can actually give their answers. Okay, written answers. So here, also in MDL, okay, the teacher is able to interact, ask question, and then the teacher is able to answer it. And then we have it. Okay, yes. This one is also one of the impact. Yun, sabi niya, salamat po ma'am, di naman ganun kataas, pero dahil po sa inyo yan, hindi naman mataas. Actually, 47 siya. Pero because, hindi naman hindrance talaga yung modality na to. Kung talagang gusto ng bata. We just have to give them motivation to do so. If you are enthusiastic teacher, you can pass that to your students. So,
Ma'am Jen.
here. Last na. Okay,
Run
impact.
through na lang po, run through. Thank you.
Okay, so yes, the suggestion, we have to strengthen the use of different teaching learning platforms, so and provide assistance, especially to the MDL teachers. So that will be the suggestion that I can ask, okay, for the school. Okay, so for my teachers here, of course. So thank you. Sorry. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Jeneline Ngo, and the rest of the English department. Thank you so much po for also a well-detailed presentation. Okay, so before we continue, I would like to thank also Sir Nicanor Makarulay for having for participating to our discussion, for being with us today. Thank you so much din po, sir. Thank you so much po, sir. Okay, so without further ado, let us proceed to the next department. May I call in Ma'am Gemma B. Esguera to present the best practice of mathematics department. Ma'am Gemma.
Yes po, good morning everyone. Am I clear, Ma'am Mary?
Yes
Am I loud and
po.
clear? Okay, thank you po.
Yes, loud and clear. Again, I will start the timer if there is a shared screen already. Are you ready, Ma'am Gemma?
Yes.
Okay, timer starts now.
Okay, good morning everyone. So these are the best practices on distance learning instruction and assessment delivery of our department. This is a collaboration of our department. So the first slide, or the second slide, shows the best practices for teaching online. So why did I use a red plus sign? So it means this is a positive. So as a teacher, we need to be positive and with a heart, and which symbolizes the red color. It means love. So these are the objectives that we should have for us to have for the teachers to have the teaching online. So the first one is the learning objectives. The modules and learning tasks were aligned with the objectives on this one. Natatakpan. Okay. So on the bow end assessment. So and then we have the prompt, the clear expectations, of course, the expectations from the students. The teachers explain the content of the modules well, give clear directions in all the schedules, tasks, and assignments given to the students. So instructor present, so the advisors and teachers posted the announcement on the Google Classroom, Facebook page, group chat. They have also the YouTube channel, call or text parents or to the students. The teachers also showed their passion and expertise on the lesson. So of course, there is a real-world applications wherein the teachers motivated students by making the topic be connected on a real-world situations by applying the lessons they have learned, created a locally based problem solving, and then teach for online students. They establish a pattern of activity by building a rapport to the students before the lesson. So describe expectations for online class, for online participation, communication, and netiquette. Use Google Classroom, Zoom video recording, Facebook page, Facebook chat or messenger, phone or cell phone calls. And then they allowed the engagement of the students. They allowed students to interact on the class by giving activities on quizzes. They were asked to provide their own drill boards and raise it, provided technical to the students, made sure that most, if not all students are being called to answer the questions to constantly check if they are listening and learning at the same time. And for the prompt feedback, they have a heart-to-heart talk to the students who are distracted, giving extension to finish the task, involve parents in guiding and reminding students by having parents group chat, as students submit the reflection every session. So these are the pictures that um, show the teaching on the best practice online teaching of the mathematics department. Then, so for the best practices for online assessment, so of course, we have the formative assessment. They use quizzes, Google Docs, Messenger or Facebook chat, the drill boards, Kahoot, the Google Classroom. For the summative assessment, they use Google Forms and the printed materials. So that's all for the mathematics department. So these are the teachers that shows the best practices of assessment delivery for mathematics department. So in the first picture, Ma'am Ellen is using the drill board. And then for the second, Ma'am Berchina used the wheel in finding or in selecting students to reside. And then for the third picture, we have that is the Facebook Messenger, wherein the students are being asked to submit their answer on the Facebook Messenger. And then the one is the fourth one is the Kahoot and the quizzes and of course the Google Classroom. And then my favorite quotation, be holy in playing, be active in playing, but be balanced in everything. That's all for this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Gemma, for the presentation. You still have time, actually. You still have 5 minutes and 34 seconds. Okay, so just would like to remind everybody that if you have questions po per department or for the previous speaker po natin, you can ask it later. You can ask it later in the Q&A part po. Okay, so may I call in Sir Gerald Pingan, Head of Science Department, for his presentation. Sir Pingan, are you ready?
Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning po.
Wait lang, ma'am. Share ko lang yung screen ko. Ha? Okay, so bago ako mag-start, teka lang. Mukhang nasabi na nila lahat, pero ayoko na magsalita. Anyway, teka lang po. Okay na po?
Ayan.
Nandiyan na po
Sir
yung screen ko.
Pingan,
Okay.
timer starts now.
Ay, wait lang, ma'am. Ayun lang po. Ay, di ko ba...
Okay, sige po, sige po.
Slide.
You tell me if you're ready, Sir Pingan.
Wala po. Slideshow ko lang po, ma'am. Slideshow ko lang.
Okay po.
Ayaw eh. Wait lang.
F5. F5. It's it. Oh.
Okay na po? Naka-slideshow na, ma'am.
Okay na, sir? Sige po.
Okay.
Take it away, Sir Pingan.
Okay, so before I start, sabi ko nga kanina parang ayaw ko na magsalita at na-discuss na lahat. Anyway, since science subject naman po ang concern natin, ano. So to start, according to sciencejournal.com, so teaching hasn't been easy during the pandemic, ano. Nawala yung slide. Wait lang, ma'am. Okay, teaching hasn't been easy during the pandemic. Teaching science is no exception. So despite constantly changing learning environments, teachers are rising up to the challenge and supporting learners in these uncertain times. So perhaps naramdaman naman natin yun at the onset of the pandemic. Okay, so the role of science in our current situation is critical since this pandemic forced us to adapt and new ways of working. So ito yung new ways of working na ginagawa natin as of present, and educating and relating to one another. So yung relating to one another, isa yun sa pinaka-concern natin nowadays during this new normal situation. Kasi nga, kailangan natin mag-adapt into this particular ways of relating to each other, lalo na po in the teaching and learning process. Okay? So, perhaps alam naman natin na ang modalities ng learning na meron tayo in general. So meron tayong online modular learning. And in the science subject, only one teacher ang nagkakandak lang ng isang modalities. Okay, so ang ibig sabihin, 99% of our teacher has two or conducted two modalities in the teaching and learning process. Okay, so teaching and learning instructional strategies. Okay, so I guess yung ating teaching and learning strategies naman, hindi naman siya nagkakalayo with regards to other subjects. Okay, so we have utilized different online platforms. Okay, so in adapting new ways of the teaching and learning process, we utilize different online platforms. Okay, we have Google Meet, Zoom, yung ginagamit natin ngayon. And ang importante lang talaga is that in utilizing this platform, we deal with students on their capacity, on their level. Kasi yun naman po ang pinaka-important.
Excuse me po.
Yes, ma'am?
The presentation po was hang. Nakahang po yung slide natin. Or sa akin lang po ba?
Wala po ba? Hindi naman po
Sir,
sa akin,
yung
ma'am.
presentation po, the presentation,
No, hindi naman po, ma'am. Sa akin po, naka-ano naman. Pause. Oh, wait lang, ma'am. Sorry.
Static ang kanya ano.
is it
Oo.
me only?
Di, ma'am,
Sir,
Experiencing that?
Pinan,
I
hindi
think,
po nilipat yung presentation mo. Doon sa first slide pa rin po hanggang ngayon ang nakikita.
Ano po gagawin? Okay, yan. Okay na po. Okay, sorry. Isa to sa mga problema natin, ano, na kailangan natin. Okay na po, ma'am?
No, sir, wala pa po.
Wala pa.
sir, wala po.
Sir, it's not working yet, sir. Ang
Stop
nakikita,
sharing.
sir, yung word na auto stop off.
Okay.
Yes, stop
Wait
sharing
lang
and
po.
reshare that.
Sorry, ma'am. Medyo, ano pong nangyari? Sa akin naman po, okay naman. Okay na po?
Yes, sir. Kita na,
Yes, sir, okay na po.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so, just like what happened earlier, ito yung mga setbacks na kailangan nating ma-encounter during this new situation. Ano? Okay, so nandito na ako sa teaching and learning, instructional and strategies. Okay? So, sabi nga, offline video presentation. Ito yung mga strategies na ginagawa perhaps ng every department. So, whenever hindi natin ma-reach yung students due to technical difficulties, okay, nagsisend tayo ng offline video presentation, as well as sending them digital copy of lesson material. Okay? Next is the offline games for students. Okay? So, perhaps dahil nga po sa limited time of teaching na meron tayo, so ang ginagawa natin, para pa-catch up natin yung milks or yung topics na kailangan nating i-discuss within the quarter. So, teachers, gumagawa ng strategies, gumagawa siya ng mga offline games for students para mabigyan ng more knowledge yung students with regards to the topics. Okay? Then last is the ask the cooperation of parents monitoring the assigned tasks. So perhaps isa sa pinaka mahirap na part natin today is the monitoring system. Okay? So dito pumapasok yung kasunduan natin with the parents na kailangan at the same time sila rin ay involved with the education of their mga anak nila. Okay? So next, so teaching and learning strategies. Okay? So and instruction and strategies. Okay? Kasama pa ito. Okay? So online checklist of students, activities for students. So as what I have mentioned earlier, so yung monitoring process is isa sa mga problema natin. So teachers, may mga teacher ako sa science na nagkakandak ng checklist activities for students. So nalalaman doon kung sino yung nagpapasa at sino pa yung hindi, and continue monitoring them on their group chat. Okay? So meron din tayong gumagawa ng activity list for teachers. Okay, teachers, for this, they can be able to monitor the submitted learning tasks by their students. So continuous monitoring yan sa GC na ginagawa natin. Okay? So, next. Parang ayaw na po, ma'am. Ayaw na pong mag-ano. Na ano na po? Ayaw. Sorry.
Sir, same slide pa po rin po.
Opo, ma'am. Pinipindot ko naman ayaw. Ano nga yan ito, ma'am? Wala na yung oras ko, ma'am. Bakit ayaw po? Ayan, okay. So, siguro sa laptop.
Sir Pingan, excuse
Yes,
lang
ma'am.
po. Ma'am Neri, papasok si Ma'am Camarce, nagtatry. Paano lang kapag pumasok na po? Thank you.
Okay.
Okay po.
Tuloy ko po, ma'am, Ma'am Mitch, tuloy.
Opo, sir.
Okay, so pasensya na po. Medyo may problem na tayo laptop. Okay, so next, the issues and challenges encountered. Okay, so disruptive internet connection during online classes. Okay, perhaps ito yung isa sa pinaka problem natin. Okay, so naranasan ko ngayon lang to. Okay, so ito yung mga solutions na ginagawa natin. Provide video presentation. Okay, so meron tayong mga offline video presentation na isinesend natin sa ating students para kahit paano hindi naman nila mabibihan yung topics na dinidiscuss natin kapag wala silang internet. Then, send the copy of the meeting. Okay, so ito yung ginagawa namin minsan para sa ating MDL, yung mga recorded presentation natin sa ating ODL, sinesend natin sa GC ng ating MDL para kahit paano yung mga may access ng internet sa MDL, maka-access din sila sa lesson na dinidiscuss natin in our ODL class. Okay? Next is the accessibility of the online task for those who are using data connection. So, sad to say, perhaps meron pa rin tayong students enrolled in online delivery learning. Unfortunately, ang gamit lang po ay cellphone as well as data connection. So, medyo may problema tayo talaga doon. So, may mga students, marami. Hindi lang iilan, marami-rami po ito. Okay? So, again, solutions is alternative activities. Okay? Nagbibigay tayo ng alternative activities para kahit paano hindi sila mabibihain dun sa topic na dinidiscuss natin. And another offline presentation para kahit paano and during times na wala silang ginagawa, makashop sila with the lesson. Okay? So, again, another issues and challenges encountered. So, students find discussion boring. Okay, sometimes kasi medyo may problema tayo with regards to discussion. May mga subject tayo na 4 hours ang time. Okay? So, ang ginagawa natin, may break time. So, sa break time, meron tayong mga activities. Normally, these activities stimulates physical, para kahit papano, mas stimulates pa rin yung bata, ma-motivate pa rin in learning, lalo pag after break time. Okay? So, for the next one is the problems encountered sa MDL naman ito. No interaction between teachers and students. So, to say, yun ang problema ng MDL kasi walang interaction. So, offline videos of the lesson. Isa yung mga solution na ginagawa natin. So, encourage students and parents to have study time together. So, hopefully, ginagawa ng parent tong mga inaano natin. Pero so far naman, may mga photos naman na na-send sa akin na may mga parents talaga na they spend time with their kids in studying. Okay? Kasi kailangan talaga natin ng tulong ng ating parents as of this present situation. Okay? So, issues and challenges encountered. For MDL again. Okay? Students, time management, can submit tasks on time. So, dito, may mga problem tayo kasi ang issues ng students perhaps is medyo marami, mahaba yung oras, kaya nga po ang ginagawa natin, unang-una is the deadline of the activities. Pag hindi kaya, as what Ma'am Susan has mentioned, kinakat natin yung activities kung ano lang yung ang tawag dito, mas importante na binibigay natin sa bata kasi medyo marami din yung nakalagay sa ating modules. Okay? Next is the students can't understand the lesson in the module. So, problem, dahil nga walang interaction within teachers and students, ang problem natin is hindi maintindihan ng bata yung module. So, dito po mapasok yung mga offline presentation na ginagawa natin, as well as continue open communicating students. Minsan nga, magre-reklamo pa nga yung iba nating kasamahan, pero maganda naman kasi may fulfillment naman na kahit na umaabot tayo ng madaling araw para makapag-contact sa ating students, nagagawa pa rin naman natin. Okay? So, next is, mabilis po para kasi 10 minutes, medyo marami nang nawala sa 10 minutes ko. Okay? So, impact of training provided by the school to the teachers. Okay? So, prior naman the start of classes, tinambakan tayo ng school ng mga trainings and seminars para to be able for us to be equipped sa pag-start at pagbukas ng klase. So, ang impact lang naman ito perhaps is for us to be able to learn new strategies. Okay, kaya nga po, ang dami nating na-apply ng mga strategies sa ating mga students. Then, platforms to be used. Okay, yung mga iba't ibang platforms para po kahit paano interactive yung ating lesson sa pagbibigay sa mga bata. Then, teachers become motivated to teach even in this new normal situation. Okay, so, yun naman po ang kagandahan ng training kasi kahit paano, yung anxiety level natin, kahit na may pandemic, namomotivate pa rin tayo na to provide students with quality education despite of the challenges na kinakaharap natin ngayon. Okay? Then, the impact of training provided by the school to the learners. Okay, so importante ito kasi before the start, kailangan din ma-orient yung students natin para sa ating. Okay, so yan po, students are motivated even in this new normal situation. Thank you so much.
Ayun. Ayun. Okay naman pala. Thank you so much, Sir Pingan.
Sorry po, may mga interruption.
Yeah. Congratulations po, Science Department, and of course, headed by Sir Pingan for a well-detailed, kahit may mga technical problems po, difficulty na-encounter, pero well-detailed and explainable naman po ang presentation. Okay, so next in line, thank you, Sir Pingan. Next is the Department Head of Araling Panlipunan. May I call in Sir John V. Libres to present his presentation for the best practices in Araling Panlipunan. Take it away, Sir Libres.
Okay, good morning everyone. Good morning Ma'am Susan and my dear colleagues. So, a konting disclaimer lang po. So, some of the practices na ginagawa po namin have been mentioned by other departments. So, isi-skip na lang natin po yung iba. And as much as we could do some of their practices po, since the Makabayan subjects have encountered several challenges due to typhoon. So, medyo nalilimit po yung aming execution with regards to teaching and learning process. So, please allow me to share my slide po. Asan na siya? Nakikita na po, Ma'am Neri?
Yes po, sir. Timer na. Start na po natin yung timer. Timer starts now.
Once again po, we are the Araling Panlipunan Department of Tagumpay National High School po. So, ito po yung aming best practices. Departamento ng Araling Panlipunan, best practices during the new normal for the distance learning for the school year 2020-2021. So, this is the rationale of our learning area po. As the Araling Panlipunan or Makabayan Social Studies It is a learning area that lays most stress on the development of social awareness, empathy, and firm commitment to our common goal as a nation. It entails the use of integrated units which enable the individuals to personally process, assimilate, and systematically practice a wide range of values and life skills, including work ethics. And then this is our action plan for the school year 2020-2021. So it has been adapted dun sa ibang department as well. Since we are in the new normal setup, so very limited yet very broad pala. Akala namin very limited kapag new normal, pero broad in a sense na since we are using technology, so dami-dami pala po pwedeng gawin and able for us to be well equipped when it comes to teaching and learning and to adapt new techniques in technology, like for the instance, yung iba't ibang mga platforms na po pwedeng gamitin, yung mga nilatag po sa atin ng ICT coordinator natin. So para tayong pumunta sa sari-sari store and then pili tayo kung ano doon yung pinaka-the best or fit po para sa atin. So this is, nakikita po natin, nandito yung objective, activities, key players, hanggang makarating tayo doon sa success indicators. So most of the content of our action plan is more on teachers' enhancement of competence as well as on how are we going to reach students in the ODL and MDL na modality na meron pong ino-offer yung school po natin. And then for the teaching and learning modalities, so again po nabanggit na ibang mga kasama po natin sa iba pang departamento. So meron po tayong ODL tsaka MDL. So nandito po yung individual schedule po namin. So ako po tsaka si Sir Buricano, ako pure ODL po ako. Si Sir Buricano naman po pure MDL. And then the rest po is mix na po. So meron po silang hawak. Ay, si Ma'am Bacolongan pa rin po pala, pure ODL. And then the rest is pure, dalawa po yung kanilang hinahandle. So mix po ODL saka MDL. So ayan po. And then nakikita din po natin yung iba't ibang functions po ng mga AP teachers with regards to their other assignments. So let's proceed na po dito sa teaching and learning assessment and strategies. So for our teaching and learning assessment and strategy, most of us po ay, lalo na sa mga ODL class, we utilize Zoom po, or lalo na dahil medyo less po yung data na nagagamit kapag si Google Meet. So most of the time, nakakapagkanda kami ng ODL class, we utilize Google Meet. And sometimes, if we have time pa into have interactive interaction with the students, we use Canva Live po. And then also we utilize Facebook group, Facebook Messenger para po medyo mabilis po yung sharing of informations and sharing of instructions, lalo na po at nagkaroon po kami ng problema this due to typhoon. And then for MDL class naman, our MDL teachers sa AP po, they utilize Facebook Messenger. Sometimes or oftentimes po ay ginagamit din po nila as means of communication to the parents and students yung yung cellphone via call and text. So very grateful po kami to have the Sacat Wi-Fi para po medyo ma-access po namin almost every day na po lahat po ng mga bata. And then assessment, ang ginagawa po namin via Google Forms po. So kagaya na ibang department, so medyo mabilis po kasi at madali lalo na sa UDL ang Google Forms kasi nagbibigay siya agad ng ng result. At saka po pwede mo siyang agad ma-record. And then for the activities po, so we utilize Google Drive via Google Classroom. So kapag input po yung mga bata or nagpasa po ng kanilang activities, it will directly go to Google Drive na medyo compressed na po at hindi po siya watak-watak. So for MDL naman, so syempre ginagawa po natin yung MDM scheme po natin. So yung iba po ay dinadala po yung kanilang activity sheets sa school and then si teachers pinipick up naman po. And then yung iba naman po, we allow na mag-send po via messenger kung saan po convenient yung mga bata na magpasa. And For ODL class po, ito po yung ginagamit po namin. So, I told my department po to engage to other to other Facebook group related to to social studies or alaring panlipunan. Sometimes we get ideas, sometimes we get PowerPoint presentation or even ready-made video po which nakaangkla po doon sa MELCs po natin dito sa DepEd Rizal. So, ito po yung unang halimbawa. Yan. And then, ito po marami po kami ng tech share. Meron din po dito sa Philippine Historical Association. So, these Facebook groups helps a lot po para sa amin kasi po, ano po yung range nito sa buong Pilipinas po. So, ibig sabihin, nakakapag-ngalap kami ng iba't ibang teaching strategy sa buong Pilipinas, not only limited to our division or our district. And for the videos naman po, lalo na nagkaroon ng problema kami sa typhoon. So, medyo nalimit po yung oras na mga linggo or mga weeks po namin. So sometimes po we tend to grab or we tend to download resources or outsource videos na nakaangkla din po sa MELCs. So kumukuha po kami ng mga videos like for example dito sa page or sa channel ni Sir Ian's class. Most of his video po is MELCs angkla na po sa MELC. So pipili lang po kami which is suited naman doon sa pangangailangan doon sa lesson para po ma-maximize namin yung nating oras namin. Since instead of 4 to 5 weeks, we have given 2 weeks lang po sa Makabayan to teach. So in terms of issues and challenges, so as I've mentioned, class suspension due to typhoon. So ito yung naging pinaka-main challenge po sa amin sa Makabayan. How are we going to provide quality education since we have limited time po? So, although yung core subject po natin, they are given enough time, at least 1 month, to teach sa amin po almost 2 weeks lang. So we have to find ways, we have to find resources and outsource resources para po matugunan yung pangangailangan po ng mga bata when it comes to teaching and learning. And happily to say, we have surpassed naman po through the help of different websites, different videos, and with the help of other teachers as well. Connectivity of the learners. So sa ODL, major problem naman po ito. So nagpalista sila sa ODL pero meron silang internet connectivity but due to typhoon as well. So sa modules naman, some of the MDL ay nawawala yung module or something like that, or kaya yung kanilang mga activity sheets naman ay hindi po mahanap. So pero ginagawa naman po ng paraan. So as a teacher naman po sa department po namin, we are flexible and we are devoted po dun sa pagka-gather ng modules po and activity sheets. And these are the suggestion and recommendation po. First po is conduct seminar, student seminar with regards to reading, writing, and doing mathematics. Not only limited to mathematics subject as a whole, but also in Araling Panlipunan. So sometimes po kasi since Araling Panlipunan as a subject or as a discipline, we give so much information and sometimes yung students po is nabobore kapag nagbabasa. So that is one challenges na kinakaharap po ng learning area namin. And with regards to writing po, hindi rin po gaanong hindi rin gaanong mainam pa ang mga bata po natin. So, and when it comes to mathematics naman, so ito po ay concern po sa sa grade 9. So since they are handling economics po. So these are lang po basic. So hopefully we could give a seminar for our students as well. And also hopefully we could only focus on one modality instead of two. So para po medyo maayos po yung although maayos naman po, pero since we are given our students have the chance to transfer from one modality to another, so medyo nagkakaroon lang po ng backlog ng kaunti. Pero overall po, we are grateful with our SLLP team to come up with two modalities, which is very evident naman po nagagamit po natin. So with that po, that's the end of our presentation po. Thank you so much and God bless you po.
Thank you so much, Sir Libres, for your presentation. Again, if you have questions po, you can save that question and later we will be recognizing those questions. Okay, so let us move on to our next department chairperson. May I call in, ma'am?
Stop share. Ayun na, stop share.
Yes po.
Sorry.
Okay, may I call in Ma'am Ana Lucia H. Alba, Head of TLE Department, to present to us the best practices in her department po. Take it away, Ma'am Alba. Ma'am. So while Ma'am Alba is still preparing for her presentation,
Okay. Wait
okay,
lang
ayan
po,
na.
ma'am, for a while.
Okay, ma'am. Take your time po. We still have two departments po, MAPE and ESP department after po ng TLE. Announcement po, after this one, meron po tayong Q&A portion after this one, and then lunch break. Okay, so I guess Ma'am Alba is already ready. Are you ready, ma'am?
Wait lang po, ha. Okay, so clear po ba, ma'am? Am I
Yes,
clear,
ma'am.
ma'am? Okay, thank
Yes
you. So,
po.
good morning po sa lahat. Okay, so this is the best practices, distance learning, instruction, and assessment delivery in the TLE department. Okay, so these are the collaboration of the TLE teachers. All right, so with distance learning, schools and a whole new set of challenges as they aim to make learning equitable in this new environment because of the challenges such as COVID-19 and natural calamities. There is a need to recalibration of strategy. So we have the number one, assigning teaching responsibilities of teachers. Then number two, learning activities is to the learners with the assistance of their parents. So to ensure flexibility in teaching and learning, kaya guided po tayo and nakafocus tayo sa most essential learning competencies or MELCs. All right, so in TLE, for a grade 7, we have carpentry, ICT, and cookery. Then a grade 8, cookery, so that is exploratory, meaning every quarter nag-change po yung kanilang course. And then grade 9 and grade 10, we have needlecraft and cookery. So yan po ay their specialization. So from first quarter hanggang fourth quarter, yun po yung kanilang course. Okay, so in TLE department, we have 5 ODL teachers. Straight po yan, 5. And then 6 MDL teachers. And we have also both ODL and MDL teachers. Dalawa po yun. Dalawang teachers po. Okay. So report on the teaching and learning instruction strategy. Okay, so we used Microsoft Teams as LMS for learners with Microsoft account, then a Google Classroom for none, and then FB Messenger for learners who are not capable. And then we also created printed supplemental materials for TLE. And we have also created playlists on kitchen utensils uploaded on YouTube. All right, so we have also created playlists on needlecraft materials uploaded on YouTube, that is for grade 9. All right, so these are the best practices adopted by our department. So we have a teacher personality. So it helps to motivate on how the teacher looks and the way teacher communicate with the student. Yan, napaka-importante po niyan. And then make learning active, find new ways to meet students' need. Okay, so learners are going to find more impactful take aways from doing rather than simply listening or viewing. Okay, next, setting rules and procedures inside the classroom. Okay, clarifying your expectations is the key to a smooth running classroom, whether it's traditional or virtual. Okay, another, treating all learners equally or allow students to ask questions during online. And knowing every student name by name. Then encourage learners positive feedback. Okay, and monitoring student work and other activities. And then the last one, keep a positive relationships with students and families. Okay. All right, so report on the teaching and learning assessment. Okay, so assessment strategies, we use Microsoft Forms, activity sheets for individual, discussion forum for recitation, and gamified activities. And then for MDL, ayan, so meron po kaming nagko-call po sa parents, and then nagte-text, and may group chat din po sila, okay, para to monitor po students. Okay. Then report on the encountered issues and challenges as well as the solution applied in adapted modalities. Okay, so ito po yung mga challenges encountered. Okay, so because of the class suspension due to typhoon, kaya 2 weeks pong wala po tayong pasok. Okay? Then some students have poor internet connectivity. Okay, so hindi lang po teachers, hindi lang po students ang naka-experience nito, even as teachers. Okay, so not all online students have the capacity to provide webcam and microphone as materials for learning. Okay, then submission of output in Google Classroom, minsan hindi po nagagawa or hindi po nasasubmit. Okay, and then maraming kulang na ipinapasang mga outputs ng students, especially po sa MDL. Kaya meron po silang messenger para pag hindi po naipasa po, yung activity sheets po sa school, ay doon na lang po pino-forward ng parents or students yung kanilang output. And then meron din silang group chat, hindi yung ibang parents po, yan po ang problem nila, ay hindi po kasi nagbabackread, kaya paulit-ulit po yung same questions lang po ang nangyayari. Ayan. Okay, then report on the impact of provided training of the school to the teachers. All right, so because of the trainings, that's why we can create classroom and activities for ODL class. Ayan. Okay, the report on the impact of adapted learning modalities to the learners. So learners were trained to use MS Teams and actively participating in the e-classroom. All right, so before, hindi nila alam kung paanong mag-open or paanong pumasok sa e-classroom, but now, may idea na po sila. Okay. Then, suggestions, recommendations, and the improvement of the school LCP. So, here, so is to strengthen the printed technology for the MDL students. Ayan, so yan po yung pinaka-problema po natin, especially sa scheduling ng students na kumuha ng module sa school. Kasi, regarding naman sa ODL, wala masyadong problems. Yung kung paano po ma-access ng students, kasi po yung, yan po yung online. Kasi po may online po sila. Alright, so yan lang po in the TLE department. Thank you so much.
Din po, 10 minutes per department. May I call in Ma'am Donalisa Navarro? Are you ready, ma'am, to present po the best practice in MAPE department? Let us give her a warm round of applause. Take it away, Ma'am Donna.
Yes po. Thank you so much, Ma'am Neri. Good afternoon po sa lahat. Wait lang po. Naisi-share na po ba, Ma'am Neri?
Yes po.
Okay. Okay na po, Ma'am Neri, nasi-share po ba?
Okay po, ma'am. Sige po.
Okay, sige. So, good afternoon po sa lahat, Ma'am Susan, sa ating pong mga head teacher po, master teacher, and sa mga kapwa ko DC and GLC, at sa lahat po ng teachers, especially MAPE department teachers po. So, start ko na po yung aming present ng aming pong department. So, we are the MAPE department. Yes, and here are best practices in MAPE on distance learning, instruction, and assessment delivery. So first, the rational context of the learning area. Of course, MAPE is a group of subjects in school, which is one of the hardest, I think, because it stands for music, arts, physical education, and health. So almost 4 subject po yung aming handle. So they are important because they culturally enrich students and help them enjoy and learn new things. Motor skills are also important, which is hard po or mahirap po sa panahon ngayon dahil nasa new normal po tayo. Okay. So another one, I have here po, or niready po namin dito, yung aming pong action plan sa aming pong department. And para ma-showcase lang din po kung ano po yung mga nagawa na po namin about po sa aming action plan. First po is sa eskwela, nag-donate po kami as one, galing po sa maliit or natitira pa pong budget ng aming department. Nag-donate po kami para po sa paghahanda ng pagbubukas po ng klase ngayong taon na to. At tumulong din po kami sa tinatawag na TWG teachers sa paghahanda rin po ng mga gagamitin ng ating mga estudyante. And of course, okay, we also have regular meetings po, kumustahan session, kung paano na po ang gagawin, saan pong part na ihirapan ng bawat isa sa amin. And at the same time po, nakapag-conduct na rin po kami ng first LAC session namin noong October 12, 2020. At ang aming resource speaker po ay ang aming kaibigan si Ma'am Mary Enter natin, na ang topic po is Technological Tools on Remote and Teaching. Which is po masyado pong nakatulong sa amin para po matuto kung paano namin maituturo ang MAPE, especially PE, ngayon pong new normal. So thank you po, Ma'am Ternate. So we also attending some seminars po, and meron po kaming sarili naming Google Drive na lahat po ng aming mga seminars attending po is sinisave po namin doon para po magamit namin in future just in case iipon na po ulit ng mga MOBs, ECLABUSH. Yan, something like that. Teaching and learning modalities per department po. Okay? So ito po yung aming mga loading po. Sa grade 7, ang mga teachers po ay si na Ma'am Laila, ako po, and also Sir Alfonso. ODL po kami ni Ma'am Laila, and nag-iisa pong MDL ang Sir Alfonso. Sa grade 8 naman po, ang malupit na mag-partner, walang iba kundi si Sir Jose and Sir Ridilla. Ang Sir Jose po ay ODL and MDL, at Sir Ridilla po ay pure MDL. Nagtutulungan po silang dalawa when it comes po sa mga materials po na gagamitin nila. Excuse me po. And sa grade 9 naman po, andyan po si Sir Chua, Sir Fernandez, and Ma'am Bilyawak. ODL, MDL po ang Sir Chua, pure ODL po ang Sir Fernandez, and MDL po ang Ma'am Bilyawak. Pero sa ngayon po, ang umahawak po ng MDL sa grade 10, na hawak po ng aming Tatay Bart, ay si Sir Ruel po muna, dahil po alam naman po nating lahat na inaoperahan po ang ating Tatay Bart. So ayun po yung aming loading or yung mga modalities po na hawak ng bawat teachers ng MAPE department. Now, let's move to teaching and learning instruction strategies. Best practices po na ginagawa ng aming departamento. ODL, ang aming ginagamit po, particular is the Google Meet, Zoom, and Google Classroom. In MDL naman po, Facebook page and Messenger. So, teaching and learning assessment strategies, best practices po namin, Google Meet, Zoom, Google Classroom, yan po, synchronous and discussion. Dito po namin ginagamit or mas madalas po sa ODL kung paano po namin ma-meet yung actual virtual class po namin sa mga bata. So dahil nga po nagkaroon ng problema po noong nakaraan, dahil po dalawang beses lang po namin na-meet ang mga bata and at the same time po ang aming subject na ituturo ay 4. Ang ginawa na lang po namin ay nagkaroon kami ng pre-recording po ng aming lesson and then pinost na lang po namin sa aming Google Classroom. And MDL po, Facebook page and Messenger, and also ginagamit din po ito ng mga ODL, which is asynchronous po, giving instructions and walang katapusang reminders and announcements. And also, we use the Facebook page po namin for, particularly kay Sir Roel po, na i-share niya po yan sa amin para po sa checking of attendance. Doon po sa comment section, doon po nagpo-post or nagko-comment yung mga bata and yun po yung magsaserve as attendance po nila. Kasi madali naman daw pong ma-check ni Sir Roel yung time and date pa kung kailan nag-comment yung bata. Okay po. Next po, teaching and learning assessment strategies, best practices po namin. So dahil po kami ay MAPE, Music, Arts, PN, Health, mas marami po talaga dapat ang ginagawa ng bata or more on practical po kami. So hindi porkit nasa new normal na po ay hindi na po namin ipaparanas sa mga bata po natin kung paano gawin yung mga bagay-bagay na alam naming mag-e-enjoy sila. So ito po yung mga ginagawa ng bawat isa sa amin. Example po, kay Sir Chua po ito, yan po sa grade 9 artwork po, yan, sinesend po yan ng bata sa FB page po nila, then chinecheck po ng mga MAPE teachers natin, yan. Ito naman po sa PE, of course, sa physical education, we also sure po na yung mga bata kahit papano ay ma-experience pa rin paano ma-enjoy ang physical education nowadays. Yan, ito po yung Google Classroom. Kung mapapansin nyo, marami naman po ang nakakagawa at nag-e-enjoy sa klase ng MAPE. And for those naman po, MAPA Online at MDL, hindi naman po lahat ay capable or madalas or mabilis na makakapagpasa ng mga activities through Google Classroom. Ang ginagawa po ng MAPE department, ay MAPE teachers rather, pinapayagan po namin isulat na lamang po ito at isend na lang po sa amin through Messenger or i-post din po sa FB page po namin para po hindi po magkulang ng mga input ang ating mga bata. So, we always adjust. And ito rin po kay care of po kay Sir Ridilia, hinahayaan din po namin na makapag-record ang mga bata para aware sila sa scores na meron sila at sa mga pwede pang maging kulang na hindi po nila nagagawa. And also dancing, care of po kay Sir Ruel, yung officiating of volleyball, ginamit niya po ang pagsasayaw para maipakita at ma-practice ng mga bata yung mga hand signals when it comes of officiating volleyball. And ito po yung most commonly na pagpapasa ng mga bata ng kanilang mga performance tasks, particularly yung pagsasaya. Naka-pending post po ito para po kami lang ang nakakakita kasi syempre mahihiya po yung mga bata kung ipopost pa namin. Baka po merong mga pasaway, ikalat pa po or kung saan pa po madalas. So kami lang po ang nakakakita niyan. So that is our assessment strategies, issues and challenges encountered po within our department din po ito kasi po karamihan naman po is loss of connection. So first po is schedule. Yun po yung naging number one problem namin kasi nga po 4 na subject po yung aming cover. So ang solution po namin, pre-recording of discussion for ODL and actively updating and posting PowerPoint images as support guide for MDL students. Like po sa grade 8 kay Sir Jose and Sir Ridilia po, ang Sir Jose po ay sinishare niya ang kanyang mga PowerPoint presentation kay Sir Ridilia, and si Sir Ridilia naman po ay pinupost niya to sa kanyang mga FB page na kasama po ang mga magulang para po aware din ng mga magulang kung paano po nila i-guide yung kanilang mga anak sa pagsagot po ng mga module and extending the deadlines of learning tasks given. Next po. And also problem while in the virtual class using the Google Classroom. So nagkaroon lang po ng konting problema during the class po ng isa po naming kapatid sa MAPI teacher po. So ang ginawa na lang po niya, solusyon, admit po isa-isa yung mga bata and make sure po na may rules na mabilis niya or madali niya pong makikilala kung sino po talaga yung mga estudyante niya na papasok po during class. So after that situation naman po ay hindi na po naulit at naging maayos na po ang klase namin. Particularly niya po. Student dishonest, naging problema is issue din po ito, which is napansin po ng isa naming MAPI teacher na yung mga bata po ay pare-pareho ng artwork na pinapasa. So ang solution po na ginawa ng aming isang teacher po ay inipon niya po yung tatlong bata po ito sa isang GC para po kausapin at paaminin ano po yung kasalanan ng ginawa nila. And at the same time po, syempre napagsabihan at para masabi ano yung importance ng honesty sa panahon po ngayon. And at the end po, binigyan niya po ito ng ibang activities para po mapalitan yung maling ginawa po nila. At ang kagandahan naman po ay nagbago yung bata at naipasa po lahat ng mga ipinagawa po ng teacher. And impact of training provided po, it helped us to be prepared for the many changes that we encountered in this first quarter of school year 2020 to 2021. And it also motivates to improve prior knowledge and learning ability and help us to learn something new and use it in our teaching strategies. And impact of training provided by the school mali po ako, for students po, the students easily adjusted kasi po siguro pangalawang session na po kami, yung mga bata po hindi na po kami nahirapang magbigay ng information kung paano ang gagawin sa Google Classroom, sa Google Meet kasi
Ma'am
po
Donna.
na-practice na nila sa Insaimapil. Okay? So the last, we are the MAPI department and the team coming together is the beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. So thank you po on behalf of MAPI department. God bless po.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Donna, for that presentation. And thank you so much po and congratulations sa ating pong MAPE department. Okay, last but not the least, may I call in? Yes, ma'am?
Paano ko ba ito
Ma'am Donna?
aalisin? Wait lang po, mama. Apo, sige po, ma'am. Tuloy lang po.
Stop share po.
Tatanggalin ko lang
Okay.
po. Apo.
Okay po. So, last but not the least, may I call in the handsome department head of ESP department. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give him a warm round of applause. Sir Faustino Cabrera. Go, sir.
Hello.
Sir,
Paano? Nandyan pa kasi ma'am, Donna.
Wait lang po, sir. Huwag ka magalit. Wititit lang.
Ay, hindi ako magalit. Hindi ako galitin.
Sige po. Ala, sensya na. Hindi ko alam paano ko ito tatanggalin.
Maka-share na ba kayo?
Stop share. Stop
Ang
share.
gano'n may napipindot. Yep. Stop share
Yan
po.
yung share. Tapos, saan po yung stop share dito?
Nandun sa taas yun, Donna. May makikita ka pa ng red.
Ayun na. Nakita ko na po.
Okay.
Sorry po. Thank you po. Good luck, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Hello.
Ayan.
Wala
Okay po.
pang time, ha? Wala pang time. Yun. Para
Okay.
Okay, magandang hapon sa lahat. Ito po ang sa ESP Department Sharing of Best Practices. Para sa akin, di ko pa matanggap talaga best pag ba talaga ang ginawa o ang nagawa kasi maraming mga pagbabago. Ito yung mga content sa mga sasabihin namin. At ito ang mga magagandang dilag at maginoong mga tao sa ESP. Lahat yan, lahat kami humawak ng online ODL at ang iba ay MDL. Sa dami ng sections na hawak ng ESP, nakayanan namin sa 2468 lang kami. Ganon kami ka-active. Okay. Tungkol naman sa ESP, ito yung ang asignaturang bahagi ng K-12 na ito ay nagsimula pag nag-start noong 2000. Basta na yung nagsimula ang K-12 at ang pakay dito ay gagabay at uhubog sa mga kabataan. Gabay, mahubog ang mga kabataan sa kanilang pagkatao tungo sa pagiging mabuting tao. At upang may pamalas ito, kailangan taglay niya ang 5 pangunahing kakayahan o macro skills. Ito lang ang kailangan mo. Hindi ka super matalino, dapat super mapuso ka talaga. Pag-unawa, pagninilay, pagsangguni, pagpapasya at pagkilos. Okay, yan ang ESP. Next. Ito na yung mga ginagawa namin actually taon-taon, no? Mga practices namin, Festival of Talents, film showing, outreach program. Ito ang tatak ng ESP, pagpapakatao. Okay, pumasok ang pelikulang COVID-19 at maraming nagbago. COVID-19, coronavirus disease, artificial intelligence 1.9. At patuloy pa ang palabas nito hanggang ngayon. At dahil dyan, ito ang mga challenges encountered. Hindi lang kami, lahat yata. Pati yung hindi nag-aaral. Okay, with regards to ODL MDL class schedule, medyo nagtampo kami. 2 linggo na wala, may gas, wala man lang extension. Pero okay lang, nagawan pa rin namin ang paraan ang lahat. At salamat dahil 3 module lang kami sa first quarter ang ESP. Quite hard for the one. Yun, ito namang sinasabi, ito palang mga mababasa ninyo na consolidate ko ito sa lahat ng aming mga kasamahan. Nag-meeting kami, nagpo-post ako, ano bang inyong mga saloobin. Kaya ito yon. May nagsabi na ang mga sagot daw hindi 100% na estudyante kaya ang nagsagot nito. Wala na tayong magawa. Yan ang sagot, yan ang sisikan mo. Go. Next, most of the students did not pass their output. Tama yon. Kahit nga section 1 yung affectionate hawak ko, 60, 10 lang maggawa. Sabi ko, ano ba ito? Ano bang natutunan yun sa elementarya? Okay. Then, technical technology issues, net connection. Alam na natin lahat yan, no? May internet nga, wala namang kuryente. Tulad ng ng bagyo. Okay, time management. Kami sobrang mga preparasyon namin. Tapos, naano lang sa mga panahon na bigla na lang nagbago-bago. Then, loss of internet, yun na yun, no? Na duplicate lang 4 and 6. 7, difficulty to call student for stage recitation. Ito kasing ESP, kailangan magsalita ang estudyante para makuha ang saloobin nila at doon sila bibigyan ng grades. Pero nahirapan daw sa yung recitation nga. Kasi nga, online nga, lalo na kung MDL. Okay. Then, solution. May solution din kahit paano. Continuous reminder and follow-up. Tulad ng mga activity, talagang kung hindi man talaga pwede mapuntahan, i-text na lang or sa FB, sa Messenger, kaya ang reminder ko sa mga estudyante, pag gising nyo pa lang, pag hawak nyo sa cellphone, unahin agad ang Google Classroom ninyo. Tingnan ang classwork. Kung may assign pang nakasulat, yun, gagawin nyo. Puro lang kayong messenger dyan. Yun, may pagalit ako dun . Next, contact the student with problem difficulties. Okay. May ano dito na yung mga talagang problematic na estudyante or nahirapan sa internet at iba pa, lalo na pagsagot sa MDL, kailangan kontakin daw dapat through text or lahat naman may cellphone na. Kahit nga kahit nga tambay may cellphone . Hard soft copy of the module. Ito yung mga solution namin. Namigay kami ng soft copy, hard copy, lalo na sa MDL. Sa ODL, yung humihingi lang. Yung humihingi lang, binibigyan na ng soft copy. Madali lang, pagpasa. Okay, then planning to talk to their parents. yung mga problema talaga na di na namin makayanan, i-consult namin sa advisor ng bawat klase namin. Then, online research, ito na yon. Halimbawa, hindi nga nag-meet dahil may bagyo at iba pang mga sakuna. Sabi na lang namin, mag-research na lang kayo sa topic natin. Minsan, may created video kami, pinapasa namin. Sa YouTube din, nandun na lahat ang mga topic, no? Gamit ang tilituruan sa DepEd. Then sa Facebook, may Facebook group din kami, Messenger, yung group chat, yon. Then, classwork, quiz after online. Ang summative test ko ngayon, online, or meaning, mag-schedule ako, tulad ngayon, nag-schedule ako 1 to 2. After 2 o'clock, wala na. So, para makontrol ang kopyahan, cheating, o kahit na total open notes naman yan eh. Basta 1 to 2, stop. Pero activities, tulad ng memo from our principal hanggang January 4. Yon. Next, ways to forward plan. May mga plano sana kami na yung mga estudyante namin na may mga mabigat na problema, mabisitahan sana. Then, never give up in giving hope to the students. Ito ay galing kay Ma'am Bellamore. Best practices. Ito ang mga ginagawa natin. Hindi naman, para sa akin, hindi pa best. Talagang ito lang ang dapat gawin sa panahon ngayon. Meron kami kumustahan time as need arises using FB Messenger, no? Minsan pumupunta pa kami sa school. Doon kami nagchismisan. Continuous follow-up classwork. Palagi ito. Araw-araw talagang nag-follow up sa bawat klase namin. Doon kami sa Messenger nagbigay ng announcement para tingnan ang classwork. Then, positive approach conversation with the student to motivate them. Kailangan positibo ang ibigay na advice para ma-encourage talaga ang estudyante na mag-aral pa rin kahit sa panahon ngayong pandemic. Then, inform person involved in online class. Always on time and prepared. Sa oras ng aming mga klase, talagang kami, isang araw pa lang before ang araw ng aming pag-deliver sa aming lesson, halos wala na kaming tulog. Talagang nag-prepare kami at para handang-handa, no? Iba na yung laging handa. Then always keep in touch to others to relieve stress and anxiety. Yung bang mga natural, sa panahon ngayon, nabuboard ka na sa bahay, no? Meron kami minsan nagchismisan, nagtawagan, minsan nagkita-kita doon sa school, ganon. Lalo na yung last month na may duty-duty kami, doon nakapag-relax kami, nagpag-usap-usap sa mga naging problema. Then always have a data on cellphone. Kahit pa paano, lalo na mga MDL, kasi anytime tatawag sila from 8 o'clock to 5 p.m. No? Talagang hawak mong cellphone kahit saan ka. Kahit nag-CR ka pa, nagpunta ka sa palengke, dahil absent ka pag hindi ka sumasagot. Then, the SB teachers handa sa lahat ng...
Sir Cabrera.
Okay, alam ko na yan. Then, writers, kami din ay mga manunulat sa SB Ideal. Naka-attend kami sa lahat ng training, seminar, meeting, etc. Okay. Suggestion, wala kaming may suggest kundi kung anong mga memong darating, sunod, #sunod, basa lang kami. And ito ang mga namin, pinanindigan. Nothing is permanent in this wicked world, not even our troubles. Sabi ni Charlie Chaplin. At there is nothing permanent except change. And I thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much, Sir Cabrera, for your presentation. Thank you po. Okay, so congratulations, heads of different departments, and of course po, our presenters for this afternoon. Sorry, na-distract ako kay Sir Cabrera. Sorry po. Okay, so may I call in to give her feedback? I guess, Ma'am Susan? May I call in Ma'am Susan to give her feedback per department for the presentation po? Ma'am Susan?
Okay, ma'am, thank you. Thank you so much. Hats off at talagang hats off rather. Hats off ang gesture na ibinibigay ko sa lahat ng mga presenters, lahat ng ating mga department chairpersons. I have seen and I have noticed the commonalities of their strategies, mga best practices, and I'm happy to note that they have presented what I have expected. Because the moment I started my session this morning, I was hoping that the presentation would have something to do and would be aligned, very much aligned to the inputs I have presented. And true enough, that they were able to read my mind. Nagkapare-pareho kami ng mga inisip. Talagang sigurong ganoon, ano, pag school leader ka, you hold the baton and then the rest of the members follow. Or you may be the conductor giving the directions and then the rest follow. So same with you as department chairpersons, you hold the baton and then your members follow, because we are driving towards a single dream, and that is to carry the flag of our school, Tagumpay National High School. Now, I was listening attentively to the presentation. Sabi ko kanina, nako, para tayong nasa training. Ang gagaling ng ating mga department chairs. Pwede na silang maging trainer, because I, being a trainer, would prepare my own slides. So ganun din ang mga department chairs. So congratulations. Pwede na kayong mag-discuss sa higher level. So le-level up na tayo susunod. Ano? And how I wish that the presentations you rendered this morning until this afternoon would be also presented to other schools, so that we can also be of help to other teachers from other schools. Kasi ang gaganda ng inyong mga naipakita. So best practices talaga. Okay, so only that I have some comments and suggestions. I have noted down some important comments and suggestions. No, so giving feedback is not a negative thing. Now let us take feedback in a very positive side, so that we will be able to open our minds, so that we will be able to improve our work. It's not for anything else. There's nothing personal. It is just that we would like to improve our work, to improve our service. Okay, so I noticed that the slides are uniform. There is a certain set of issues or ideas that are followed by all the department in their presentation. So this is very nice. It only goes to show that we are uniform, and there is uniformity in promoting our goal, and also there is quality in the presentations, no? Kasi meron tayong sinunod na guide. So meron tayong outline na nakalagay doon. I was following your presentation. So nag-start kayo sa regional or yung context of learning area, and good that you mentioned about the action plan. The new normal action plan which you prepared on the onset of the first quarter. Is very nice. I suggest that the HTs, no, the head teachers, since you are handling and you are giving advice to the departments, be able to monitor the conduct of those activities. And I also suggest that right after I have heard your best practices, it's only good to see that the action plan be revisited. I-visit pa rin natin yung action plan so that the best practices that you presented this morning until this afternoon would be incorporated. So yun ang alignment na gusto nating makita. Ang action plan ay hindi dekorasyon po yan. Ang action plan naglalaman ng ating mga activities, yung mga narinig natin ngayon hanggang kanina ngayong kaninang umaga hanggang ngayong hapon. Please make a convention among yourselves, mga department heads, together with the HTs, so that you will be arrived at a standard. Kasi ang standard, yun ang measuring stick natin so that everybody will follow. Tingnan natin kung yung mga activities na na-present natin ngayon, kasi ito ay actual, di ba? Actual. Ay nandoon sa action plan, or else let's arrive at a synergized conclusion na dapat mailagay natin doon sa action plan, and then everybody will follow. So I hope that all the department heads will have a convention or will have a meeting among themselves through the guidance of the HTs para i-revisit ninyo yung inyong mga action plans, that it may no longer be aligned to the best practices that we discovered this afternoon and this morning. What else? So after the rationale, you went down to action taken for activities. Very good. Meron kayong mga teaching and learning modalities. You informed us. Teaching learning, mga teaching learning assessment strategies. You mentioned about the assessment, the formative, and then the summative. And then you mentioned some online platforms and educational or teaching apps, no? Mga learning apps that are available. And then yung utilization of alternatives when something went wrong. That's what we call flexible learning options. So we make adjustments, no? And then followed by yung mga issues and the challenges. And then what is something good, is something nice, is that there is an impact of the trainings that are provided by the school. Now herein, I'd like to suggest that the impact of any activity that you conducted be provided with data. This must be data driven, as what we do when we are asked by our SDS o ano ang impact. Hindi natin pwede sabihin, maganda naman po. Marami naman po nakakasunod. Okay naman. Well, these are obsolete. Hindi na yan ang kailangan natin ngayon. So kung sinasabing impact, ilang porsyento, ilang bata, ilang teachers, etc., etc. But there must be a quality. There must be a quantity. Quality and quantity must go hand in hand. So doon po sa impact, i-incorporate natin yon so that in our next INSET, sa susunod after siguro ng third quarter, i-adapt na natin yon. Okay? So before we started our sharing of best practices, I told you that the very reason why we need to present our best practices so that we can help each other. Makatulong tayo doon sa ibang teachers from other department, makatulong tayo doon sa mga teachers within our department so that we can help each other. And we can be a guide to our fellow. All right, so we started with the Filipino department. Congratulations, Ma'am Rachel. Sabi ko kanina ako energetic. is because we are time pressured. So kung time pressured tayo, siguro nakapag-rehearse naman at nakita naman natin na 10 minutes natapos, di ba? So meron lang medyo lumampas na kaunti, pero hindi naman masyadong awkward yon. Okay? And then sa Filipino, kay Ma'am Rachel, na i-present niya ang mga best practices for adaptation, ano? And then mga issues and challenges, which something good, that there are solutions taken. May actions na nagawa. So lahat halos ng department, natutuwa naman ako, na in your own little way, in your own expertise, you're able to reach for a solution that could be, in one way or another, effective, no? Effective because you have seen the impact afterwards. Okay. Some of my comments, some of my suggestions are applicable to all. I am not going to say that it's only for Filipino department, but if you think that there is something lacking in what you have presented, and that you would think that I am referring to the presentation that you did earlier, that could be fine. But this is for general. Well, teachers are getting techy nowadays. Kasi yun talaga ang kailangan natin. And even si Sir, si Sir Sting, talagang sabi ko nga ay napaka-committed. Kasi lahat talaga ginagawa nila. Although sabi niya nga ay nagtampo ang department dahil dun sa schedule, extension. Nevertheless, parang nga tayo mga sundalo mga moms and sirs. Pag sinabing ganito, nasa war zone tayo, hindi na tayo aatras, susulong tayo kung ano yung meron tayo. And this is what is expected of us. Yung makita sa atin yung initiative, na kahit hindi sabihin ng leader na ganito, alam nyo yun ang tama, do it. What else? So meron tayong time pressure talaga tayo kanina, Okay? And then sa English department naman, kay Ma'am Jeneline Ngo, she presented the Victor, the BRB4, and yung kanilang template na mga ginagamit, yung mga ginagamit ng BRB4 na mga monitoring tool. Let us check kung yun ay nakaangkla doon sa mga na-release ng division office. But I also suggest to all na sa susunod siguro, since na meron tayong ganitong guidelines, na meron kayong outline, magkakamukha na rin yung ating mga slides na gagamitin. So we will produce, I will ask the IT group to produce a certain set of slide decks for which you will enter all the inputs para isa lang ang mukha ng gagamitin natin, so that when these presentations be presented to our school, to other schools, alam nila na yun ay galing sa tagumpay. So meron tayong personal identity. Yan. So we have so many discoveries, using the different platforms. Alam na ng mga guro gumamit ito mga ito, although siyempre siguro meron pang kakulangan, and that is what we're going to address in our INSET. So learning not only matters with learners, with students, learning also matters with teachers. That we say we cannot teach what we do not have. We cannot share what we do not have. So good to note na nag-i-improve ang mga teachers for us in as much as utilization of IT, yung mga educational apps are concerned. So we will always bear in mind that when the department chairperson presents an input or present a certain set of slides, that is a collaborative effort of the entire department. And so we support that. Kasi baka sabihin naman ng iba, bakit department chair na naman ang nagpa-present, etc. So if it's a department's output that represent all the efforts of the members. Alright, sa math naman, basta yung aking mga comments and suggestions ay applicable to all. I'm not going to mention kung anong department ang mag-a-apply, but we are setting a certain standard for which next INSET we will be able to follow. And then, sa assessment, summative and formative assessment have been mentioned. So, nagpakita kayo ng mga exemplars ng mga platforms na ginamit nyo for assessment. Natuwa naman ako kay Sir Pingan. Talagang siya ay under pressure na kanina. Parang sabi niya ayaw niya na mag-present kasi pare-pareho na daw doon sa nauna. Parang ano tawag dito, na-threatened ba si Sir Pingan? And aside from that, kasi nagkaroon ng technical glitch. At any rate, kahit naman pare-pareho yung ginamit yung best practices, they differ in terms of context kasi para iba-iba ng subject areas ang ina-handle. You may have the same strategy, but the application may have a difference in terms of mathematics, English, science, etc. Okay? So you make modifications like what we do when we teach students kasi they're diversified ang students. May kanya-kanya silang galing, may kanya-kanyang weaknesses. So pwede tayong gumamit doon ng mga MIs or DIs, multiple intelligences, and differentiated instructions. So same with the modification we do when we present our strategies. And just like what we're doing now, in the engagement phase, students will be able to share among themselves. They will be able to share with their fellow students what they have in the community, etc., what they have in a certain area, and then afterwards they would expect feedback from the teacher kasi gusto nilang marinig kung ano ba ang maganda, ano ang needs of improvement doon sa kanilang mga outputs, and definitely there must be a set of rubrics because we are saying na kapag assessment dapat ay holistic. So they're authentic, holistic, and there must be a set of criteria which we're going to use when we assess. Okay, so 99% sa science ay handling two types of modalities, no? Siguro naman ay majority ng ating guro ay dalawang modalities ang hinahawakan. There's nothing wrong with that. At least pareho kayong knowledgeable or parehong knowledgeable doon sa dalawang modalities. So it will not make a difference when you are handling ODL this time and then next time you will handle MDL. Kasi ano nyo na yun, gamay nyo na yan, gamay nyo na. Okay, issues and challenges can also be addressed using interventions. So there must be interventions. So doon sa inyong action plan, if you need to conduct an intervention for students, for teachers, you can have it there. Now, in this session, I also want you to realize that when you present information or when you present something that would benefit others, and to make it congruent and systematic and comprehensive at that, may I suggest that you also follow the idea phases, yung merong introduction, yung merong development, merong engagement, and assimilation. Para pag gumagawa kayo ng mga WHLP, gumagawa kayo ng mga learning exam plans, lesson plans, kahit tulog kayo, alam ninyo kung anong ilalagay nyo sa intro, anong ilalagay sa development, anong ilalagay sa engagement, and then sa assimilation. So you know the purpose, you know the objective, you know the product that has to be extracted from each phase. So para medyo kakaiba yung ating mga presentations, so pwede nating isunod doon sa idea as if we are teaching the lesson. So teachers enhancement are also considered in the best practices. You also mentioned pocket Wi-Fi for access of students' output. So mas madali na ngayon na maka-access kayo ng mga outputs ng bata sapagkat meron kayong pocket Wi-Fi. And then you continuously conduct FGD or focus group discussion among yourselves so as to get feedback kung na-achieve ba natin yung ating purpose, kung na-achieve ba natin yung ating target. And that's the way of monitoring and evaluation. And then may nabanggit doon, nag-adapt ng mga videos from educational videos na nasa FB. Ano ba yung Sir Ian's class? Yan ba ay ano? Sino ang host itong Sir Ian's class na ito?
Ano po yun, ma'am? Good afternoon po.
Yes, good afternoon.
Si Sir Ian's class po, isang teacher din po siya. So,
okay.
Opo. So, yung most of these videos po is, ano naman po, MELCS directed naman po. So, pwede naman pong gamitin. Example lang din po yun.
Sige. Careful lang tayo kasi hindi naman lahat ng videos ay na-critic. But if you think that it can help you, why not? And also, tingnan natin yung alignment nga ng MELC kung yun ay pasok doon. Okay? So maganda yun. Maganda yun na nag-benchmark tayo doon sa ibang practices. It's one way of adapting others' strategies na alam natin na makatutulong sa ating sa ating pagtuturo. Okay? Sa PLA si Ma'am Ana Lucia there is a set of information presented to us. So sinabi natin sa atin doon yung mga courses offered of the TLE. But not all learners have Microsoft account in the LIS. So i-address natin siguro ito sa ating LIS ko or if she can do something about this, Okay, so sa MAPE and then sa ESP, meron silang mga kumustahan activities. I know that in other department that also happens, So may mga strategies utilized in each learning area. Okay, so susunod, huwag na tayong magtampo at sabihin na natin kung anong ating problema and then we will ask help from other teachers. And gusto ko na talagang ang lahat ay equipped and capable, especially the department chairs, so that when a fellow teacher approaches you, you know what to do. So hindi tayo mararatel sapagkat fully equipped, and we presume that department chairs are self-directed teachers who are willing to extend assistance or technical assistance. Anyway, we have here our head teachers and I am here to help you. So sana lang ay magkaroon tayo ng teamwork pare-pareho at isa lang ang tinatakbo ng ating mga programa and proyekto. Okay? Okay, so the assimilation phase. Having considered yourself a professional teacher, which of your best practices you can share with your fellow teachers to be able to address a specific issue or concern relative to the delivery of quality basic education. So you are not going to answer this now per se, but you will have your reflection to be submitted this afternoon or before tomorrow, so you can have those questions be answered. Anyway, ito naman ay pwedeng take home, etc. Now, what is important is for you to relate what you can do to a certain issue because we are part of the school system. So sa assimilation, ang bata, personal niya na ibinibigay kung ano ang saloobin niya, kung ano ang kanyang mai-share, at para malaman natin, may problema ba yung bata? May problema ba yung guro, so that we can be of help. All right. And so we say, I will leave this to you. The words from Michelle Obama, our former First Lady of United States of America. She says, you may not always have comfortable life, and you will not always be able to solve all the world's problems at once, but don't ever underestimate the importance you can have, because history has shown us that courage can be contagious and hope can take on a life of its own. And this is what is happening to all the departments. Matapang tayo na humarap sa ating mga issues, sa ating mga problema, sapagkat naaaksyonan natin, and I've seen that, na meron tayong mga ginawa ng solusyon. The best practices that we presented, all of them, I know, have been well thought of. Okay? So, keep up the good work. Hats off sa inyong lahat, together with your members. Magkaisa pa rin tayo doon. And then I say thank you and God bless to all. So we lead as one, we teach as one, para sa Batang Tagumpians, heads up sa tayong lahat sa ating mga issues, etc. So again, I say thank you and God bless everyone.
Thank you so much po, Ma'am Susan.